What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Man, things are getting better. You know, we're getting further and further removed from what took place, about a week ago. Just getting a little more like, all right, pressing forward, feeling good, not thinking about all my negatives. You know what I mean? So far, so good, man. I would hope so. We got some snow today. That's got to help to it, right? They got to add to the positive vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with solutions over here.
There it is. That's what I like to hear, baby. Heck yeah. Me? Not all.
No, I'm saying I got a plan.
Oh, you got a plan.
It's nothing different than what we've been discussing.
Okay.
Already. Fields and Tomlin needs to give up the reins for offense and defense. And just be the ultimate overseer like he did back in the day. With those Super Bowl runs, Super Bowl 43 and then Super Bowl 45. Because that's what it was. Like, he had Arians calling the offense and he had Dick LeBeau calling the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get back to that.
No, I can dig that, man. Hey, we've seen it work before. Sometimes history can't repeat itself in a positive way. It doesn't always have to be a negative thing when we're thinking about the history element of it. So I
think Tomlin needs that at this point. He's getting too stressed out. If he's trying to call the defense and he's got to worry about Pickens and all this other BS. He needs one of those seasons. Just give the defensive play calling to someone else. Let off the offense a little bit. Stop handcuffing Arthur Smith. Let him do his thing. Let him cook. I mean, you need a season like that.
But my question is this. We actually don't have hard details one way or the other about who is calling. Because like I said, I know my info.
About it.
You might be, because I'm about to say, I know my info. He's not doing that, but...
Well, either way, Terry Austin needs fired then.
Nah, you know how I felt about it, man. When I'm showing you multiple players doing this and they account for what they account for with the salary, I don't think any of that changes that until you get them to do what they're supposed to do. I don't even have to say the names. Multiple people in the chat be like, yo, this number right here, specifically this one right here. It is like, well, if it's that loud where everybody can see it, yeah, I think that's that guy issue. Problem is, the handful of dudes get paid a lot right now.
I'll give you this. If it's not going to be a for sure upgrade over Terry Austin, maybe you do just keep him. Because outside of like 3 or 4 names,
Flores is a lateral move for him. It's kind of bleak out there. Yeah, it's a lateral move for Flores if he would have done that.
He's not doing that.
And you would have to
Aaron
pay
Glenn,
him.
He's not doing that either.
Right, he's lateral. Saleh is the one that's interested, but even with that, it's like, all right, what does that actually cost to bring you in?
There's a few more I came up with.
Who'd you got? Let me hear that name, man. Let me hear that list.
Jim Schwartz.
Okay,
I don't know.
I think he was currently employed right now, though.
He's with the Browns. I don't know if he's up, but I don't know if we could trade for him or get him to get out of that contract. But that's a name.
So you're saying the Browns defense was intriguing to you?
Not necessarily this year, but I mean, he was the 2023 Assistant Coach of the Year. Yeah, the Browns defense was good whenever they had the whole Flacco run, the DTR run, that type of thing.
You talking about the deep year?
The fake deep year, sure. Their defense was good. The defense was objectively good across the board. Myles Garrett wasn't better than T.J. Watt. Their defense was good, though.
I mean, it was the deep year, though. Let's just make sure we talk about the same year. That's the way they gave you that confidence.
I'd be looking at him, though. He's like a Dick LeBeau type. He's just
no. Schwartz is definitely
he was a head coach for a stint, but a ton of experience.
He's been in Buffalo. He's been in
Philly.
He's been around, man. Schwartz knows his day, man. I even like Schwartz because he low-key a real-life tough guy. I don't know if you remember, but I remember, man, Lions game, heck yeah. He ran up on that like, hey, bro, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you think it is. I like Schwartz, man. In terms of his defenses, man, super aggressive. Now they're predominantly all 4-3 defenses, and that was kind of what had TG hesitant about Robert Saleh.
Said, who cares at this point?
In today's NFL, man, you're in a 4-man front anyway, so it's very similar to what you're going to be doing when you're talking nickel versus base. If you're in a 4-3,
we're rocking
like you're
with
running
Cam Hayward and either Benton or Ogunjobi in the interior, and then we got TJ Highsmith or Herbig on the outside.
Yeah,
that's our predominant formation.
Yeah, only thing that changes is Beanie Bishop / Cam Sutton versus that being a true off-ball linebacker. That's it. But I think that Schwartz could definitely do that if that's what we're looking for. But once again, he is currently employed, and I think that that's the interesting part with some of these names. It's like, the majority of the dudes that we're going to want are currently employed somewhere. They already are getting, a nice check, or at least, like I said, even with Brian Flores, we know what that number is for what that cost even after 1 year with us when his credit was still technically low. That was a $4 million hire. You tell me, were we paying $4 million for assistants like that? You know, that traditionally hasn't been what they do. That's a lot of money to pay to just the coordinator, though. If we just talking, you know, that standpoint,
I would bring Flores in a heartbeat. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he was already in here. That. Yeah, he was already in here.
Aaron Glenn, like you could throw those names on the list too, but I just don't think it's realistic.
Right.
You want to hear the other two?
All right, who else you got, man?
You're gonna like this one.
Talk to me. Who you got, man?
You're actually gonna love this.
Talk to me.
I think you would.
Okay.
Like Patton.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Patton, man. Listen, Patton, I had my best career off-ball linebacker my last year in Buffalo. Patton was my coach. Like super dope in terms of the details. I love his like inverse to Rex Ryan. Rex is more of the I'm loud, I'm gonna tell you like, yo, we about to come in your house and we doing this and this. Patton's like the smooth assassin. Like I have a lot of like affinity for him because I like his approach to it. It's like, yo, I ain't about to oversell you, but trust me, I'm trying to do you dirty. Like, yeah, he knows his stuff, man.
It would be an upgrade for him. I don't know if his contract's up with the Vikings, but I think he's just like a linebacker coach over there right now.
Yeah.
And this guy's definitely available.
Yeah, he was another guy that improved, though, man. Head coach opportunity, not what you want, but coordinator or position coach, dang good. Absolutely, man. Who else you got from me, Deke?
This guy's definitely available. Matt Eberflus.
Oh, Eberflus. Okay.
He didn't know how to be a head coach.
Hey, I'm about to say,
those defenses
are you reuniting
good.
him with Phils?
Yeah, that's fine. He's the defensive coordinator.
Phil,
he's not overseeing the offense.
Phil's like, hey, listen, bro, keep that bad juju completely away from me. I don't want no parts of that, man. It's like if you brought Matt Canada back in the building. Hey, Matt Canada, why don't you be the offensive assistant? You'd be like, absolutely not. Just keep him out the room. I don't even want you around here. Maybe Phil's might have the energy. I don't know.
And we already talked about Saleh.
Yeah.
I'm going after one of these dudes.
Okay.
I'm trying to make a splash.
But my question is this: as you're going after these dudes, what's giving you the confidence that they get the personnel to do what we're asking? Because we still feel like we have a ton of talent at certain spots. But the big thing, which a lot of people pointed out this year, was effort at times. Man, why does this guy look like he's not trying to make a tackle over here? Why does this guy look like he doesn't know how to make a tackle at times? Whereas with some of these coaches, like, yes, they are great in terms of X's and O's, but what they've done, is there any surefire that is going to get these handful of players that are some of the more paid ones as well to give us that production? I just don't know if that's a guarantee based off of the names of them. It's like,
you'd like to think, though, they've improved every defense they've had their hand in.
To an extent, yeah. I think I get what you're saying with the new, and I can see like where that would be intriguing. I just think from my standpoint,
this Tomlin, Terrell Austin combo, you're right. I mean, because this is probably the most talented defense we've had in recent years. Mm-hmm. But it's been the same story over the last 3 or 4 years, talking about either preparedness or effort and just looking lackadaisical out there, getting outclassed. So that's why I'm saying just make the splash and see if one of these guys can shake things up then.
No, like I said, I definitely get that approach. The reason why I'm against it is I just think that, man, when you go change does not always equate to production. It does not always equate to the results that we're looking for, and especially when we're talking bigger changes. It's one thing to change a piece right here. It's another thing to change a position coach. It's another change to change the coordinator. Now we're talking about, all right, just change defense up. Change this, change that. It's like you run a risk of doing more damage than you do good with some of these like bigger changes just for the sake of change. That's why I just kind of keep asking, like, all right, why do we feel so much confident about that guy being able to get the most out of this particular player right here? We've seen this player play well before under Terrell Austin as well. But we also see at times where it's like, man, what's going on here? I don't know if that's necessarily the message that's going to change that versus that just simply being, this is who this guy is right now. But it doesn't hurt to try. And that's why I can definitely see both sides of it.
I think that's where I'm at, because the defense just hasn't been good enough, flat out, period, with the combination coach that we got. And I also brought up
every an opinion thing, though, too, when we say not good enough, because statistically,
I mean, with how this season ended, just right off the top of my head, with how this season ended, clearly not good enough. And then in all these playoff games, clearly not good enough, too.
And you feel like the coach is the simple change to get that to work.
I've also said every player is up for trade too. I'm good for exploring many avenues.
Yeah,
here.
I just feel like, man, some of this stuff, I'm like, yo, I think that you expose yourself to a lot more riskier business.
I don't think it's as much of a risk with these coaches, though. I mean, these guys are legitimate defensive coordinators out here.
So what I would
it's
ask
not like we're
is
getting
this.
some scrub or some
No.
up and comer with lack of experience.
Terrell Austin has also shown that he is capable, but we're asking to get the next up. We're trying to go past from where we're been at and saying we want to go to. Not saying it's perfect, but like that is what we're trying to get to. What is saying that these guys are that much more proven or that much more qualified that we're like, oh yeah, this is like. That's all I'm saying. I don't look at it.
Well, all of them became head coaches based off what they did as defensive coordinators. Terrell Austin has not done that.
Yeah.
Jim Schwartz, Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
Eagles.
I get that. Yeah.
You know, Mike Pettin, he had a good run with Rex Ryan over with the Jets, like you said, with the Bills.
Yeah.
Improved the Packers defense. Eberflus, I'm telling you, even you look at some of these Bears defensive performances over the last couple of years.
But
it's not been the defense.
We're going to cherry pick certain parts of it, and if we do that for Terrell Austin, you could go back to the lines, and it's going to have certain things that are going to cherry pick to make him look qualified as well.
These guys are just more though.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair
for sure. So it's not like we're getting this up and comer in here or just some rando. These are legitimate guys that I hold in high regard.
Yeah,
calling defenses and calling plays.
Except, man, there's nothing wrong.
Because if it's not these guys, and then if it's not like an Aaron Glenn or Brian Flores, which again I don't think they're coming over here and doing the whole lateral move. If it's not any of them, maybe we do just stick with Terrell Austin. And I don't know, something needs to change though with that dynamic between him and Tomlin. But outside of, like I said, these four names and an Aaron Glenn or Brian Flores, I don't think there's much else out there that excites me that much from a defensive coordinator standpoint.
I could dig that. I could definitely dig that, man. That's it.
Unless we want to give the reins like Aaron Curry or something.
I would say, I know feeling-wise, the feeling is that it hasn't been good enough. The feeling is that, it's been really, 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 really just terrible this whole time. But once again, just from a statistical standpoint, there is a lot of metrics that will back Terrell Austin doing a good job. Now, we're not saying he did a great job, but there are multiple metrics that do support this dude is doing what he's supposed to, but we also know that, expectations are still very high, and that does not go away regardless of the variables that take place in season. Injuries, performance, dudes not doing what they're supposed to, etc. So we definitely understand hey, man, you are in the spotlight here from a negative perspective. I just don't look at it as simple as, we're a coach away from all of this going away. That's all. I think that's where we have like the difference of perspectives on it. I still see it as, you're going to need either a personnel change or you tap this money and change just how you're allocating said resources. Because if this is how we're going to spend it, then the people that we're spending on, they're not allowed to have off games. They're not allowed to have quiet parts of the season. Regardless of how fair that is, we just know that based off how the NFL works offensively, you can get away with that because your quiet game can still give me 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and we're going to feel great about you. A quiet game defensively, it's going to have us looking at the coordinator saying, you tripping right now. What's going on with you? And I just think that I don't think that that's necessarily changing based off of the message right now. I think the message is fine. I just think that when we're looking piece for piece and we really had that tough convo of has this guy did what we thought he was going to do from the start of the season, middle of the season, end of the season. When we go and talk about some of the more heavily compensated guys, we're going to be saying, nah, they didn't do enough.
Are you doing anything, though? Because you're talking about changing personnel.
I've already told you. I'm restructuring contracts. If it's on me, I cannot have 18, 30, and whatever PQ is getting. That can't. Because I've already seen that, that doesn't equate to the success. Yeah. That's how I look at it.
I think we're already at like 50-something in cap space.
Yeah, some people
look
at it as
get an extra 30 or 40.
Yeah, some people look at it as I would cut people. I'm not trying to cut because to me losing the talent for a draft pick, it doesn't help me because now I still got to replace this player. I still got to replace what they bring to the table. But when we're talking about these guys in the sense of can I change how much money I'm spending on them, I think that opens up a lot more. So now we already got 50, but what if I can get up another 10 mil? You know what, if $5 million goes to a receiver, what if we can get 10 to go over there at receiver? Just the caliber of a player, the quality of guy. Offensive line, we talk about some of the depth players that we had when it started having some of these injuries. Man, you're getting down into it. But just imagine if, instead of it being a Calvin Anderson or a Spencer Anderson, respect to both of them, what if it's a dude that's getting $4 million? What if it's the Nate Herbig of that group? Think about how good we felt about Nate knowing that he was the backup at one point. You're like, bro, we got depth. We feel good. So that's kind of the approach that I look at it. Those are the changes that I make because I don't think it's a message. I don't think it's a, yo, we got to get the right X's and O's. I'm seeing guys in position to make plays. I'm just seeing them not be disciplined enough to do it every single time. And that's why we felt the ups and downs of sometimes they look dominant. Sometimes they look just all right. And then other times they look flat out bad. But that to me is more of who are the guys that are actually going out there. And if you're not going to do it to that standard, man, we can't pay you to that level. Regardless of what it might make you feel like, we know league wide. It's not like we just a ton of dudes just getting paid defensively. We said, man, there's more offensive guys that are getting broke off because we know the importance of it. So that's my approach to it. That's how I'm trying to change it.
Yeah, maybe next season if we do make the playoffs, make sure that the flu doesn't get passed around in the locker room.
Yeah, like Cam had it. It was what?
Cam, it helped PQ, Cam.
Somebody else.
Clearly, it didn't help Patrick Quinn.
He said it was. Hey, bro. He said he had the flu game. I'm not tripping on the flu game, but I'm tripping on. You catch what I'm saying? It's like you can't get the flu then. You can't get the flu. You see what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like you can't get it then. Yeah,
health as well.
It can't get it. I don't care. Like once you get what you got, that's what it is. You know how I go. It's not fair. But that's what comes with the contract. That's what comes with it because I don't get to sub you out. I don't have a backup for you. We need the production. So, like I said, that's how I'm switching my my allocation of resources, man.
And so it's actually not much of a switch. You're just restructuring.
Yeah, but
does that involve extensions?
I feel like the only one that I'd potentially have to do the extension with is TJ. I think with that, I do a 2-year extension and I'm letting them know, yo, you know what this is. Or not, it's a 3-year extension, but the 2 years are the real part of the guarantee. You can give me the funny money contract. You know, what was the one we was doing during COVID? It was like with the fake years at the end of it.
The voided years.
Yeah, voided years.
I don't know if they do that anymore.
I'm about to say, give me a 5-year deal. I just want 2 real ones, 3 voided years. That's what I want to give him. And he understands like, yo, you ball out, man. Good, but you know what it is, man. All right, if it's just like how it's been these past couple of years, all right, after these 2 years, we at the crossroads. But that's kind of how I look at that approach with him. I don't see the benefit right now of release Minkah Fitzpatrick to save $13 million in cap space. Okay, cool. I have this extra space, but now I have a even wider hole at safety. TJ Watt. All right, trade TJ Watt. Okay, cool. But now I have a big hole that I have to fill at pass rush. So that's the part for me where I say if I restructure it, I still keep my pieces that I keep. It extends about a 2-year window of these top end players, but I'm now able to take a lot of that extra money that they were getting and I'm using it on offense way more strategically. And I'm saying, hey, y'all need a little more break anyways, right? Y'all play a lot of snaps. Y'all getting out there too much. Well, let me help you out. I can help you by taking some of that off your plate and let me put some of that over here. Because right now I'm going to wear this. I got this myself, and it's cool until you don't. We like the first month of the season. We like the first 10 games of the season, and then it's like, all right, we seen this again. Y'all about to tell us y'all tired. The injuries, which are legitimate, but it still doesn't change the overall outcome of it. And, yeah, we trying to find that change in outcome, man. We tired of the losing. We tired of the first-round exits, man.
Yeah, the only downside of that would be is if we wait a couple more years – and we do try to trade TJ, his value is going to be the lowest it's ever been as opposed to right now. If you are thinking rebuild, you are thinking just fresh start with things, now would be the time to get a couple good first-round picks and start building this thing back up.
Yeah.
I don't think there's necessarily a right answer because, you know, TJ might, like a Cam Hayward, age like fine wine here, right? I can see that happening. Minkah Fitzpatrick
still is playing well.
Minkah Fitzpatrick at the safety position, it's not one of those things where all of a sudden it just goes away in a season or two. Like he can, I think he could probably play at an elite level till his mid-30s. We've seen it many times.
Yeah, absolutely.
With safeties of his caliber. So that's the only downside. That's the risk you take. I'm not eager to be moving off of a Minkah or a TJ. If the offer's right, I'm listening, but we know those guys are still in their prime and are still good players. I think your point's well taken, though. If we could get their cap hits down a little bit, open up some more money, that's not a bad strategy.
Yeah, because I don't think that they have lost it as players. I don't think that they're not productive as players. But the problem is when we are comparing their production based off of $18 million per year or $30 million per year or double-digit M's per year, even when we look at
just the impact it has on the overall game.
So when you think of all of the impacts of it, the nature of the position and teams' ability to avoid them, we said, man, offensively, it's hard to, or excuse me, let me say this again, right? Defensively, if you're my great pass rusher, schematically, offensively, I can do certain things to just go away from you. Don't go to that side of the ball, all right? Don't go to that side of the field. I'm just going, everything's this way, this way, this way, right? We'll do different things formation-wise, but you can't get me because schematically, hey, that's just the nature of your position. Same with safety, right? We said, man, Mika's doing a great job in the two-high shell. Yeah, it minimizes this portion of the field, but they can still attack you here, and we can't get away with that. Offensively, we said the difference is this. You can't hide from Lamar and Derrick Henry and Burrow and Chase. You can't hide from that because they get the ball every single time. When they want to make a play, hey, Derrick Henry, I want to get you the ball. They line him up in Wildcat. Remember that? It was like, yo, put him in Wildcat. I'm going to make sure you get the ball. Jamar Chase. Oh, all right. They double team you here. Okay, we'll go to the string game. Oh, you don't like it here? Okay, we'll put you in the side. We don't like you here? Okay, we'll motion you. It's so many more ways that your talented players, your playmakers, the guy that you have value in, can impact the game offensively, whereas defensively, especially with the way that the rules are, it's not like you can go out there and be the enforcer. Like 10, 15 years ago, man, Mika could go out there and murder somebody across the middle of the field, and you're going to get the desired results you want.
Our Steelers defenses, those Ravens
you can't
defenses.
do that now. Right. So now you're taking away another part of what makes these guys so unique. So that's why for me, it's like, I don't think that they're not important. I still think you need them, and that's the running back combo. We're not saying that running backs don't matter, but we're just saying that they don't matter more than the wide receiver or than that quarterback or than the offensive line. So when we are committing money in a salary cap league, we just got to be a little bit more cautious of that and a little bit more intentional about how we, allocate those resources. That's my whole thing. I don't think that you got to move on from these guys, but I do feel like you have to change that money up. Because we've seen now, this is 3-4 years now of this approach. We are still in the exact same spot. And the only time we've been further was when it was shifted. We bring up the Killer B era. That was the last time it was shifted to where offense mattered more from a pay structure here.
We should have paid more on defense. Colbert, I think, could have figured something out.
That's fair. But my only thing is the guy that we would have paid got hurt. Shazier, right? We had already paid to it. Cam was already a first rounder under contract. Everybody else was young. Me and Debo had our deals, but we weren't getting paid to the point where it's going to kill a salary cap. All the talent to that extent was offense. So that's why you had L. Bell, 7. You talk about AB. You talk about Pouncey, second contract, right? DeCastro, second contract. Eventually, even Al got another deal up out of there. So we could see where the money was. Then you throw in a Juju or Martavis. I want to say we
ended up getting Joe Hayden, but that was on the back half of the Killer Bee stuff. What, 2017, 2018?
Yeah. Because he had the 1 year with the full gamut of Killer B. Then after that, he was there when the AB situation, when he came with the mink coat and
Bell sat out.
Yeah, that was that whole.
That was a good team.
Yeah.
Remember, I compared them to like this year's Bengals team. Mm-hmm. When we went 9-6-1, finished off the season hot, but missed the playoffs. We beat the Patriots in the regular season. They ended up.
That was a big game too. I remember that, man.
We lost to the Saints off that BS call with Joe Hayden in the back of the end zone. They called pass interference on that, and then Juju fumbled at the end of the game. Yeah. Boswell missed all those field goals. That was like a season from hell.
Yeah.
But we were legitimately a good team. Ben led the league, I think, in passing yards, had like 30-plus touchdowns. We would have done damage in the playoffs. It's just, we couldn't stay buttoned up in the regular season. It was really unfortunate.
No, without a doubt.
But to your point, like those, 2017, 2018, those were legit teams right there. Mm-hmm. That's when, we did bring in a Joe Hayden, but we still had a lot of money going on the offense with the O-lines, the Killer Bees and all that. Those were legit teams. I don't think we can go that cheap on defense because like 2015, 2016, I would say this. We had like Cockrow and Sensabaugh back there at cornerback. We can't be doing that.
Because I'm saying, I forgot Law Dog was paid on the front end of Killer Bee era, but the guy that we were supposed to pay was Shazier. Obviously, we know him getting hurt. That changed that, and now that's what sent us into is it John Bostic? Is it Mark Barron, right? Then we paid Vince, but it was okay, could LJ Fort be this guy? We were constantly trying to find that till we drafted Devin Bush. And then from Devin Bush, we transitioned to more recently, we did the Landon Roberts, Cole Holcomb, Quan Alexander. And now just this past year, we spent on Patrick Queen.
He gets the flu.
Yeah, we've been chasing that position still now since the Shazier injury. Same way to an extent, we're still chasing quarterback since Ben. And that's the part where you could just see where when you don't hit on a first rounder, when you don't hit on that marquee position in the draft or in free agency, it takes you multiple years to kind of get that back. Whether you're talking Devin Bush, whether you're talking Kenny, to an extent, Artie Burns, these are 3 first rounders that we didn't even get the 5th year out of. Shoot, Bud didn't even get the 5th year out of.
We tagged him.
Oh, no, you're right. We tagged Bud. Yeah, shout out to Bud. 2014, baby.
And then he robbed the Titans.
But he got off in Atlanta, though, and it worked out in Atlanta, and now he's in the Chargers. Yeah, he was one and done.
Yeah, he's like a nice role player right now. He's getting like 5-6 sacks. Yeah, but for what he got paid in Tennessee, holy hell.
He got paid like a 1, but he's a dope 2 right now. Yeah. Like, that's what he is. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's why he had the credit he's had. A ton of production, man, and he's been, living it up. But that's the part to me where you look at those times and it's like, we haven't been offense first since then in terms of the amount of resources. Now, we've been trying, but we got to hit. One of these got to hit on this offense.
Yeah, we're using resources. We've used draft picks on guys, and the unfortunate part is a lot of these dudes we've been using the draft pick resources on, we're questioning whether or not we give them the second contracts.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man.
That's no good. Like Broderick Jones, Pickens, obviously Kenny's not here anymore.
Think about we did move, and people were questioning moves, though.
Fowtown is already hurt his rookie year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Muth. I mean, yeah, there was a back and forth. I think that contract, we hit the sweet spot on that. And I think he played up to the contract this year for sure. He had like 600 yards, 7 touchdowns maybe. That's solid. That's worth whatever he's getting paid right now. I think it's like 10 or 11 million a year.
Well, because I was going to say, man, whenever we're talking the move deal, that was the whole thing. It was like, yo, is he worth double digits based off of the overall production? And then we would compare him to the other quote unquote marquee tight ends. And we're like, okay, if you're going to look at Muth in the Travis Kelce and the Mark Andrews scope, then sure, or the George Kittle, we're going to feel like, yeah, he's less than. But if you're looking at him in terms of everybody outside of that big 3, he is very much a part of that conversation. And that was even when we would joke about the Buffalo tight ends, the Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. He's like, hey, bro, his number's just as good as his. And it's like, you're right. So that is the part we'll move. As long as you're looking at it through the right scope, yeah, that deal has not been a bad deal. But it's just we're stuck in limbo with him because we feel like he is capable of being those type of guys. But the production
and tight end's not one of those marquee positions either. Mm-hmm. You feel like, because you go back to the killer B and how we had that thing structured. You had AB being an elite receiver, and then Martavis, we know he should have been an elite receiver. When he was on the field, he was, a legitimate 2 to AB's 1.
Yeah.
Then we draft Juju. We have a Le'Veon Bell. We didn't worry about the tight end like that. We tried with Ladarius Green. It was Jesse James.
Shout out to Ladarius Green, man.
We're having him on a rookie contract, and it's not like we were hurting on offensive production having a less than tight end out there. I know he was more of a blocking tight end, but just in terms of as a receiving threat. So you wonder, it's like, whoa, what if we used $9 or $8 million of that $10 million Muth contract and made sure we got a T. Higgins in here along with a Pickens, and then we drafted a tight end in the 3rd round or something like that. What does that type of offense look like?
Yeah. I think it helps us. I think we'd have a lot more talent over there, a lot more resources for whoever's the quarterback.
I think that's to your point, though, why we're waiting on Muth to take it up another level. Because tight end, if you're looking at all those positions on offense, it's just above running back. I think it's on the bottom of the totem pole of importance and how you want to prioritize who you're paying.
But I would also say is one of those positions, though, if you have the right guy there, it can legit be a weapon. It can be a game changer, and we've seen it because that's the guy that you really can't double team based off of the structure of where they line up at. That's why at times you'll see, okay, you want to get your receiver on a good matchup, line him up at the number 3 spot. That's what the Bengals started doing with Jamar Chase towards the end. It was like, yo, put him on. The further you move him inside, the harder it is to bring that corner. You can bring that corner and flip him at the nickel spot. You start putting him at that 3rd spot, that's linebacker. Now you asking him, okay, read, run, pass. Are you really just man-to-man on him? Because if you are, I'm going to hand this ball off to Chase Brown, which we said, and we would see him have success. And it's like, those are certain ways. So with tight ends, it's like, that's the matchup. Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. Talk about Travis Kelce. All these
Brock
dudes.
Bowers.
Heck yeah, man.
This guy coming out of Penn State.
How do you, because you can't double them. You can't double them. And now you're stuck trying to figure out, can my tight end, or is my linebacker fast enough to run with this guy? Which more than likely he's not. Okay, now I go corner. Can I put a corner on him? Usually he's too small. And now can I go safety? But now you're praying that the safety can actually cover it. He's not just one of those physical tackling only safeties. So when you find that tight end, man, they can be the weapon. And that's why we invested in Move. That's why we drafted him in the second round. Like, we feel good about him.
I wouldn't categorize him. You said weapon.
He's not a weapon just yet. He's not a weapon just yet. Yeah.
He's solid.
Yeah. He's a high quality producer right now.
We don't really know what he is because I'm comparing him to like a Heath. He's not as good of a blocker as Heath, but he's given us Heath type of receiving numbers, but he's not as short-handed, not as physical. I feel like he's more
athletic than Heath from a receiving standpoint,
Absolutely.
But I think Heath has the more consistent hands, and I think Heath is the better blocker.
Right.
So
Heath
that's
gave us
where
more.
we are, yeah. But that's why Heath was a more complete player versus just a specialty. I look at Muth right now as more specialty, and that was why we had our criticism of him. Was it earlier this year, Colts game, and even last year when we were talking about the blocking and how we could really see it sometimes, how it could hurt you more so than help you. I thought that he gave better effort with it, but that's the difference to me with Heath. I thought that Heath was just like, yeah, man, that's one of the ones, man. But that's why Heath is Heath. Like, it's Heath Miller. You know what I mean? Now that we talk about some regular tight end, like, this ain't Jesse James. We talking about Heath Miller, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of them couple years, man, Steelers Hall of Honor. Like, he's that type of dude, man. Like, it's Heath.
Absolutely.
It's a reason why when Move catches it, we say, Move. Because of Heath. So Heath is the standard for what we would at least want. But it's like, yo, if we can get it to where you could be the Travis Kelce's of the world, then that's just added bonus.
It's either be better at blocking and do the Heath type of stuff, or you got to be delivering these 1,000-yard seasons like a Travis Kelce and be that type of receiving tight end.
He's stuck
elite.
Right now. He's in the limbo.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. We just he doesn't really have a role. He doesn't really have like a definitive feature.
You know, I gotta ask.
What
is this kind of like the equivalent of the Najee 1,000-yard? It's like
you're really
Aikman
good, but you're not on the broadcast,
and that's fair. But that
was hilarious.
But once again, it's like we minimize it until we say, well, why hasn't other people done it? You know what I mean? Why aren't other backs consistently doing this? If it is as simple as it is, and I think with Move, I'm sure some people look at his production and say, man, anybody can do that, but we would agree that I don't think that it's just anybody could do it. You still have to have some type of skill, but at the same time, it's like you're not a great guy just yet. You're just a good player.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could do what Moats is doing. So maybe we do need to give him some more credit, at least in the receiving game from a tight end standpoint.
But you see what I'm saying? Like,
I'm just wondering the overall impact it has on the offense, though. Like, would we be better structuring the offense in a different way, where we're not paying a tight end that much money, where we're paying 3 wide receivers a decent amount of change, and we're just rocking with a rookie tight end and feeding them maybe like 300-400 yards. That's all I'm asking. But I mean, Muth, I don't think a lot of he's a top 10 tight end right now.
Yeah, like I said, for me, man, I'm not against it. I just think that if you're going to commit real money to a tight end, you got to have real production from that tight end. And if not, then these are the questions that
he's lived up.
Pop up.
He's lived up to the contract.
Yeah, he's lived like contract.
I don't have complaints about what he signed and what he gave us this year.
Yeah, and like I said, as long as you're looking at Move in that scope, you're fine. It's when we start comparing him to the elite dudes, it's like, we
ain't paying him that. So
we ain't paying
the world.
Exactly, man. Exactly. We could feel like he's capable of it, but until he shows that he does it consistently, we don't have to pay that. So no harm, no foul. Alrighty, man. That was a nice little intro we had, huh? Sheesh.
It's a good combo.
Shout out to the intro. All right, man. Hopefully y'all was enjoying the way we was doing it, man. So on the front end, hit that like button one time for the culture, and don't forget to subscribe. But either way, let's start the show like how we always do. You know the drill. Drop it in the comment section where you are tuning in from, so that way we can give you those big boy shout outs to start today's show. And of course, like I just said, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe. We almost at that 50K mark, baby. Let's get it.
Richard RB's the 310, Carson, California. Shout out to this ramen that's bussing right now.
Ooh, big facts on the ramen. You got to have some ramen in your system, baby. Yes, sir.
Leah Warren, the 254. Mike Good, the 614.
Shout out to the 614 and the 254.
Rod Dollars, 330, Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah, it is. You know you got to share a line.
Cookie Monster, 610, Reading, PA.
Shout out to Reading, baby.
Juice Bellamy, Villanova, the 610.
Okay.
Leland, 717, York, PA.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Last one, Greg Yeager, the 570, the Poconos.
Man, let me tap in because, I got David McCrite. Shout out to David McCrite. And the 519, Petrolia, Ontario. Shout out to Ontario, baby. One time for the coach at T-Bone, all top. Live from Istanbul, Turkey. Shout out to Istanbul, Turkey. And shout out to you rocking with us, man. It's a lot of places you could be rocking with and tapping into, but you with us. We appreciate you from the heart. JMK, so say in the 803 Rock Hill, South Carolina. Darren Rogers in Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out to Tennessee. Mordecai in the DMV, the 301. Shout out to the DMV. Now, shout out to Baltimore. Just throwing it out there. All right, make sure we clearing and drawing these lines in the sands today. All right, Justin Gordon in West Adams, Los Angeles in the 213. And I'm going to end it with the homie. Our aloha brother, Mr. Colton Choi Fu in the 808 Honolulu, Hawaii. So shout out to you in Honolulu. And I see you, Jaron, Pittsburgh Steelers for life, always in the 559 Visalia, California. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I want to say this one too.
All right, what you got for me, baby?
Because Benny Guava just had this on his mind today. I had to let everyone know. He's tuning in from the 732 Somerset, New Jersey. He says, never forget, Fitzgerald Toussaint fumbled against the Broncos.
Hey, man, y'all stole my dog Fitz out, man. All right, let my dog live, man. He's just so we're chilling right now.
I don't need that reminder.
Right,
I will never forget. Trust me.
Stop it, man. I'm going to seek comfort. He ain't mending, dog. Just let him live, man. Yeah, he just chill, bro. Yeah, he was just a guy. You know what I mean? He tried hard. It didn't work out that day, but he's
Big
all right.
Ben with that, whatever it was, that AC joint sprain arm. No AB, 300 yards against the best defense in the league with no fly zone. Epic performance. Just going to get forgotten in the archives.
It's like that sometimes, man. It's like that. All righty, man.
I mean, two times was 300 yards put up against that Broncos defense through the air that season. Both were done by Big Ben.
Mm-hmm. One was a win, though. So that's a plus.
Yeah, I was at that game.
No, that was too. It was great. It was fun game to be at, man.
That was. Yeah. Nice comeback in the second half.
Heck yeah, man.
Osweiler sucked.
The tall glass of milk. Shout out to Brock.
They made even though Peyton Manning was not the same Peyton Manning, they made the smart decision to go to him for the playoffs. Decision making. Sometimes Osweiler wasn't built for those moments. Yeah, he would have choked.
Sometimes not making the wrong decision is just as good as the guy that's very talented but makes the wrong decision. Yeah,
unfortunate. Yeah, we honestly wish we would have played whenever we went up against Denver in the playoffs in that divisional round. Wish it was Osweiler. I really do.
Wouldn't hurt. It definitely wouldn't hurt. Especially, I don't think he was capable of the fake slide or the fake sack. See how quarterbacks get away with everything, man. Even back then, quarterbacks been having a little fun with the rules, man.
That was literally crazy.
My man had the fake. Oh, I'm sacked.
Gave himself up.
False. I'm not sacked anymore. I'm up. I was like, yo, what is this? Is nonsense, man.
I'm guessing that gets called as down in 2025.
Been in the rules. He gave himself up. We knew what it was.
Just because of how much we do highlight the quarterback and the slide and giving themselves up now.
I'm like,
imagine I would think that would be called now.
Imagine if he would have got hit too, bro. They would have went crazy if he would actually got hit. It's nuts, man. But here we are. So.
Well, what do we got? We got a bunch of super chats.
Yeah, man.
We got a lot rolling in today.
Time out. We still got supers from yesterday too, right? Yeah. So yeah, let's knock out the ones from yesterday. That'll get us all the way caught up, and then we'll definitely be able to catch up with the ones today. And then whatever topics we don't get discussed free agency wise, we could always push that till Monday, and we'll be good there, man. So
and then we got our picks.
Yep, and then we definitely gotta get our picks in, man. Got to keep that rolling. I said we got a couple weeks left of this, man. Got to keep the consistency up, though. I like it, baby. I like it. All righty.
Cam Harper, do we still draft a receiver even though we signed one in free agency? Sure.
Yeah, you can never have enough talent right now on the offensive side of the ball. You're going to keep hearing me saying that. That's what I'm on.
Let him duke it out with a Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin.
And I do not care either.
I don't care.
Yep.
Whatever. Brent Fox, morning, everyone. Just wanted to show appreciation for Najee's work with the Steelers. He says, thank you, too.
Okay. Shout out to Naj, man. Shout out. Like I said, man, at least somebody says thank you, man. At least somebody can appreciate what he's done. Everybody been trying to just get him out the door, even in the midst of all his consistency. It's like, man, all right, cool. But can you at least say thank you? Like, there you go, man. It's so unappreciative. Too. Yeah. We said thank you to 7. Like, don't be unappreciative.
Don't do that.
Hey, we appreciate your work, man.
Yous.
Yeah.
Those are all fake thank yous.
Come on, man.
I'm going to give Najee a legitimate, heartfelt thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, thank you, too. Thank
no
you, 7.
Sarcasm involved in my thank you to Najee.
Thank you to both of them dudes, man. We appreciate your time. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No.
But you never know. It doesn't have to be the end of the road. I mean, we saw even with Deontay Johnson, he's found his way back to Baltimore all of a sudden, man. You never know.
No, that was just Baltimore scheming. That's unreal.
Baltimore said, hold on. We're going to get this comp pick back, and we're going to protect you to make sure we ain't playing against you in a couple weeks. I said, boy, y'all are dirty. Y'all are not playing fair. Hey, aggressive business. I like it. I like the energy. They held on and didn't release him until it was too late for our game. And then they said, okay, you in Houston. All right, say left. Oh, they released you. Come on back here, player. Now you ain't going nowhere for the rest of the year. I say,
and we're going to get that comp pick.
And I'm going to get the pick when you sign Sport. I say, y'all are
It's not going to be as good of a comp pick.
But still,
if even any
I'm
comp
just
picks.
like, bro, the way that they played that, I say, yo, y'all, that was dope. Hey, salute to you, bro. That's some work right there, man. Mm-hmm.
Let's get you. Dub says, I'm with Shay on GP. He's lazy diva who either needs to get it together or gonna get hard to get on the same page with Russ when he's not running his routes 100% every snap.
No, that's real life, man. If he doesn't grow up, and like I said, man, just become more professional. I think that's the big thing. We could talk about the age in the sense of the numerical value of it, but maturity, professionalism at this level, and when I say maturity, I'm talking about professional maturity, not who he is as a individual. But it's like those things matter. Those things, when you're talking about winning a championship, when you're talking about winning games, when you're talking about just coming to work and feeling like we're doing something as a collective and we all have a similar focus. It's no distractions. There's no ulterior motives. I think that's what, we're desiring from him. And he's capable of it. That's the other part. It's like, man, I know people will bring up the try. Oh, this was said about him in Georgia. This is what's been going on throughout his career. It's like, yes, but there's a reason why Coach Tomlin is so patient with this kid, because he can see the potential, but he also can see the goodness that comes from him at times as well. And that's the thing where it's just like, you're just trying to hone that. You're trying to find that perfect blend of, believe in yourself, have a ton of confidence. But at the same time, give me some humility. Understand that you are not the sole reason why it works or doesn't work, but you are a big part of why it does or doesn't work. But you still got to have that confidence, but you still got to have that humility. You still got to be, I want to be the reason why. But at the same time, hey, coach, what helps the team? What helps us instead of what makes me feel better? And I just think that for young guys, man, or dudes that are new to the league, man, that's the battle that you go through, especially when you're having success early on. And he's had a lot of success as an individual professionally. So, like I said, man, it's just we watching him. Now that clock is ticking though, because just like with everything, no different. We talk Coach T. It's like all of this works. This is positive, but this is still the elephant in the room. Playoffs, right? GP, all of the you make these highlight reel catches, man. You got some funny moments, like that matters. But we're still looking at some of these critical moments, and we're saying, we need more out of this, or we need better decision making with some of this as well.
Better attitude, better off-field stuff, all that.
Yeah.
Because that affects the team. I truly believe so. If Tomlin's allowing it, I'm sure there's players in the locker room that are like, man, he's able to get away with this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, maybe I don't have to give 100%.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
It's human nature.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with human nature, man. And that's the part that Coach Tomlin understands, and that's that weird balance of when we said, it's bigger than just X's and O's from coordinator standpoint. It's how do you manage these personalities, these different feelings, emotions, and egos. Dudes, 1 week, everything is smooth because they're having success, so it's easy to work with them. It's easy to get your message to them. Now they go through a little bit of a slump, whether it's team losses or individual performances not being well. I mean, we've seen dudes be disgruntled after positive games because statistically they didn't have the outcome that they wanted. When you're talking about being the head man, you got to deal with all of that and the impact that it's going to have on the team. Because, Deke, think about it this way, man. If I'm handling it one way for me, but you're watching that and you're over there, you're like, bro, like you just said, well, hey, if he can kind of get away with that, why can't I get away with it? And even though the message is going to be, hey, I'm going to treat you all fairly, but you're not equal. Like he matters a little bit more. But I'm still going to give you respect. I'm still going to treat you kind, but this dude has a longer leash. Are you still going to be professional enough? And does the coach have the relationship with you to be able to look you in your eye and tell you that, and you still be like, all right, I can dig that. I'm not going to trip out. That is challenging for a lot of people, man. And when you throw that money, that ego, and the social media part where you got fans saying, hey, bro, you ain't got to listen to that. You ain't got to deal with that. That's a lot that you got to process through, man.
Especially, too, since GP is an AB.
That's the other part.
Like, did you have a problem with AB?
You notice you've never heard me talk bad about AB or L Bell.
Yeah, all I've heard is like we know he's showing up for game day.
You know what it was. You know what it was. When people made that big ordeal about AB showing up late for this or L Bell didn't make the walkthrough for, it was like, bro, do you know what that man did in the game? Man, I'm gonna holler at you about this walkthrough before I holler at him about that walkthrough. You crazy, man. Hey, look, we'll be the guys that show up for the walkthrough. L Bell, you show up on Sunday, man. Whatever time you need to be there, we'll do the other stuff. We got you. Yeah.
Now, the thing is, though, some of the ramifications you didn't feel in the moment with that, but I'm sure, like, newcomers coming in, seeing how AB was able to get away with stuff.
Until you saw him play. That was the one saving grace, because the difference with AB, L Bell compared to what we see, like I said, with GP and stuff like that, it was never on-field related.
I'm saying even though down the line, once like AB and Bell left, they see like, Tomlin does like play favorites if you play a certain way, and you can act a certain way. So I'm sure there is some like ripple effect from that.
I think players have tried it, but I also think that's why we're seeing how many dudes, especially when we're talking wide receiver, have had success here, but we've moved on from them in the heart of them being successful. Whether you're talking, I don't even bring up the Juju part of it, because I still say, man, that's contractually. But I look at Chase Claypool, I look at Deontay Johnson. Neither one were playing bad when we moved on from them. Neither one were.
I didn't want to trade Claypool.
Neither one were.
Yeah. I thought he would have been a help for Kenny in his rookie season.
Yeah, we didn't want to move on from them dudes.
But once I heard he was a potential locker room guy, I was like, get rid of him.
Internally, they had
what
issues.
I'm big on.
Yeah, and they're not dealing with that if your production is not Antonio Brown. That's the constant. It's like, if you produce to that extent, which, yes, he's Hall of Fame type. He is outlier type production. So when you have outlier type production, yeah, you're going to have outlier type rules. But these other guys that we've been naming that are trying to emulate his behavior, unfortunately, them dudes have not had that type of production. Those dudes have not had the type of, your worst game is 5 catches for 70 yards. You remember that was the AB line. Your bad game, AB's bad game is 5 catches for 70 yards. It's times we looking at these receivers like, oh yeah, 5 and 6. That's great. He balled out today, bro. He did his thing. You catch what I'm saying? Like, so it's levels to what we're putting up with because of what that production looked like. L Bell, we said, was the best running back in the league for a 3 to 4 year span. We ain't talking about nobody on this roster, especially on offense, like that, to where they can feel like they can show when they want to show up, or everything is just, whatever I say goes. Like, no.
Pickens dropped 4 passes in that Bengals game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, what? When AB was tripping out, AB gonna give you 5 for $150, 2 touchdowns, then he gonna dance on you in the end zone, bro. Come on, man. Yeah. But that's why they were who they were. And now we're seeing the, like you said, cause and effect of it. Yeah. That's why you've had to move on for some guys a little bit premature. But I think that it's consistent in terms of the messaging. If you not that, you
maybe
better
that's
not
another
act
thing
like that.
Tomlin's got to change. Yeah, change, like in terms of the approach. Like, just make it no nonsense. Just have it be like,
I don't think it's as
zero
easy.
tolerance.
I don't think that's the Belichick approach, and we saw how that works. It's zero tolerance while you got Brady. Brady leaves, that zero tolerance is going to get tired. It gets tired, and I think that that's the part that we got to understand, that these dudes is not like back in the day where the power structure was coach had more power than player. A lot of these teams, the player has way more power. Think about this, right? We talk about the defenders doing what they want, and nobody comes in and says, it's them. We default to coordinator every single time. It's nothing against it, but the players know that. We've been there, you know that. We've all said it at some point in time to a coach, hey, bro, they'll get rid of you before they get rid of me. Do you know what that sounds like, man, to hear that? You never hear that in college. You never hear that in high school.
To a coach.
Deke, unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, and it's been multiple times, and it's not just a single person. Yeah, like multiple people have said it. Because think about this, man. What you think of like a regular position coach? They get $300-400 tops. Position coach. You know what that's the rookie salary for somebody. Like, they passed that. That's the dude that don't even get in. He barely even get a helmet. He's getting that. So once again, when we talking all these like tough approaches of, man, I'll sit you down. I just not. All right.
I get
it sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good up until you looking for employment. I'm still doing the exact same thing I've been doing. I'm still gonna get my check. And hey, if it don't work out here, I'm gonna go find some other team that isn't as keen on winning, and I'm gonna just live over there and make, Like, that's how not everybody. And that's why you appreciate the ones that we do get that are locked in. And that's why we talk about the steal away and that culture and why it matters so much. because there are a lot of athletes out here that don't do it solely because they want to win, because they love the sport. They do it because they were just talented, they had size, and it pays well. And those are dudes you try to avoid. But sometimes you don't know that's that until you get them in. Now you like, dang, now I done paid this dude too much and I'm screwed. So that's like what you're trying to not have happen. But leaders, that's real. Yeah.
We need some James Ferriers. We need some Casey Hamptons, Ike Taylors, Polamalu.
And think about all them dudes you're naming. Think about during that time, like we had this bona fide leaders.
It was just never about money with those dudes. Mm-hmm. You never really thought about it. That defense stuck together for, I don't know, 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm. It's different.
Fought for each other.
Yeah. And you look at even now, man, when them dudes come out, how close they are, bro. Like, that's a Steeler thing, man. Like, and a lot of us.
We're not saying about that with some of these defenses over the last, 7-8 years.
Right, because they haven't been as productive. And when you don't have the production, you don't have the winning, you don't have those playoff runs, you don't build those connections. Because it's literally the season ends, we don't have any history. We didn't get to say, yo, you remember we went on the road in that playoff game? Hey, bro, you remember we had to go over here and do that too? Hey, you remember we lost it? We came back that next year, we did this. They don't have that. So you don't get that same type of connection. Whereas them dudes, them Ferriers, them Foots of the world, man, the Peasies, the Hagans, the Debos, the Smiths, the Hamptons, like these dudes, man, they went on runs together. And when you on that run in that postseason, man, you really learn about each other. It's like, yo, I know what you willing to do. It's like, man, I always think back to Kansas City when we went on the road in that division round game. It's like, bro, the way we felt coming out of it, it's like, yo, I know you willing to do whatever. Like, I know I don't ever have to question anything about anybody out here. Like, I know what y'all are. And you don't get that always in the regular season. That comes from winning big games in these big moments where it's a lot of adversity and it doesn't look like it should work out. And it's like, yo, we figured it out though, bro. You know why? Because we like that. You like that. We're going to always have that belief in each other. So it's one of them things, man. We hope that this group can get that. But it's not easy to do, man.
Yeah, it's kind of telling that, honestly, Pickens was the best guy on offense in that playoff game.
Think about it, bro. The one dude that we talking
Pickens
about.
actually showed up in that Bills playoff game, too.
He did.
He was the one, and he's the guy we have the most questions about, whether or not he's willing to put it all out there.
Yeah.
Fight for his brothers on the team.
And I was going to say, at least this year with Pickens, he didn't even have the whoops play. I was going to say, it was Buffalo. He had it was like the fumble by the goal line. But it was like, he didn't even have that. So it was like completely across the board. When we had to have it, he was the one who really stepped up and showed that dog type energy at the end. When he split on the spin back and scored, it's like, oh, all right, we got action. So we definitely know what he's capable of, and that's why Coach Tomlin is as lenient and as patient with him as he is. And even us as a fan base, think about it, we still support GP heavily. Imagine if Ben Skronik was acting like this, right? We'd be looking at him like, yo, you tripping. Calvin Austin, you tripping. Van Jefferson, they'd be like, yo, you got to get fired yesterday. With GP, we over here like, are we sure? I mean, maybe. Right. Hold on. Maybe we just got to give him another guy here. Maybe we need the leadership. Maybe that's what you see what I mean? Like,
because he's that
talented, bro. He's that talented.
The thing that's lingering is what effect he's having on the locker room and the overall team and the just the productivity on the rest of the players. Like how that affects them, how that might be bringing down morale.
Yeah,
like that's the other thing and the other side of your mind, which is why we're talking also about him being open for trade.
Very true, man. All them things are true, baby. Heck yeah.
Shout out to the Corn. So shout out from the 402. Roll with Fields. Draft the receiver and cornerback. Don't sleep on quarterback Jackson Dart. Tomlin will be fine. Dudes need to step up in big games. More heart.
Okay. You said Jackson Dart? I feel like I've heard the name before. I haven't.
Ole Miss quarterback.
Yeah, but I haven't checked out a ton just yet. But I feel like I've heard the name before. He had a nice receiver down there is what I heard.
I'll tell you this. From what I've seen, he typically will go the wrong direction in some of these big games.
So you got a little Sam Darnold on, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good way to put it. I wouldn't be opposed to taking him though, third or fourth round, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Weak QB class though. Maybe he goes in the second. Maybe he goes late first.
They let Quinn Ewers. They let it quarterbacks.
Quinn Ewers officially declared.
Oh, all right. Shout out to that. All right. So Quinn declared. Beck said he's going back. He's in Miami now.
After Quinn, there's a drop-off.
I was about to say, it's a massive drop-off, yeah.
And then Riley Leonard, I guess, the dude from Ohio State, too, Howard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them going early.
Yeah. Man, we got Skylar Thompson. I ain't worried about none of that, man. Skylar just as nice as all them dudes you bringing up right now, man. I've seen Skylar in the big game. Skylar show up in the big game. I seen him in the big game, man. I seen him in the big game. I watched that with my real eyeballs. These ones. I seen it. Yep. I was like,
up? I don't know about that.
Bro, 30 points scored on the Bills in the road in the playoffs. 2 ain't even done that. Come on, man. 2 ain't even give me that one. He gave me that one.
That says more about 2.
No, man. Skylar Thompson, man. Y'all better stop playing with Skylar, man.
If I can remember right, it was a janky 30 points.
It don't matter. It was 30. Skylar was a part of it, man.
Did he even throw for like 50% completion percentage?
It didn't matter. He produced. He had numbers, man.
There was some like 4th and longs and 3rd and longs being converted.
He produced. He had numbers, all right? You're a big stat guy. He had numbers, all right? 30-plus points on the road versus Buffalo in the playoffs. Come on, man. That ain't easy to do. Kenny ain't even do that. Mace ain't even do that. It's a lot of people ain't do that before, man. Like 30 on the road, that's tough to do, man.
I don't that's like tough. I said, from what I remember, I think
it was a blizzard too when the game happened. I think it was a blizzard going on.
It was clear skies.
No, I think it was freezing. It was probably like below 30 degrees out there. Now that I think about it, yeah, it was a lot of that going on. I remember
I was rooting for the Bills to lose that game.
You consistent. I can't wait till we get to it today. I can't wait to hear how this one goes because I know how you do. Yeah, but yeah, it was about negative 55 degrees out there. That might be 52. I don't want to exaggerate. But about negative 52 degrees, and he went out there and did his thing, man.
What my pick isn't necessarily where my rooting interest is either.
Oh, don't you give me that.
There's been multiple times where I'm like, all right, I'm going to pick this game, but I want them to lose.
Do not give me that, man. Do not give me that. With Skylar is our emergency QB3 going into all these games this year. Y'all heard it here first. All right, he going to be the QB3. He got it on lock, I guarantee. In his depth.
I've seen him in all the games since that playoff game, and it hasn't gotten any better for him.
But we can say that about a lot of quarterbacks. We can say about a lot of guys. We can say about a lot of guys who are QB3. We're looking at the
I don't want to see him on the field.
You see what I mean? We're talking about QB3s. By the time he got on the field in Miami, it's bad. But he can still show up.
Miami should have traded for Kenny.
What's the difference? Skyler's way cheaper.
No, Kenny's just better.
Way cheaper.
Kenny's just flat out
way
better.
cheaper, bro. Skyler's way cheaper. And he has the athleticism. He's a dual threat guy. We like dual threat. That's why everybody likes Justin Fields, because he can run. He can throw. He can run. Skylar Thompson can run. He can throw. Come on, bro. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Come on, man. There are a lot of similarities. Skylar's a good player, man. All right. I've seen him start. I've seen it. Playoffs. You like playoffs. You talk about big games. You talk about big game moments. Can you step up? He stepped up, bro.
He wasn't good in that game.
I see it. Hostile environment. Hostile. Scored 30.
Y'all hit
that like button too, man. Don't forget to subscribe, man.
Yeah, maybe he is appropriate for QB3. I'll give you that. We were a little spoiled having Kyle Allen. Yeah, Kyle Allen's a legitimate backup. We had as our quarterback 3. So,
but it's like
maybe that's appropriate, but still, I think
another quarterback 3 is DTR, right? So think about Dorian Thompson. You're right. So
I'd rather just draft Justin Dark then. Yeah, I'd have him be QB3. Bring back Mason as QB2, something like that.
Once again, though. Is Jackson Dart better than Skylar Thompson? No. We have not seen Jackson Dart make any NFL plays, let alone make any plays in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
I will definitely take my chances with Jackson Dart.
And then you'll be saying the same thing. All right, man, we got to get to another guy. We got to get to, you know what I mean? That's how I go, bro.
Our QB3 better not be seeing the field one way or another.
They see the field if injuries happen, though. And I just feel a lot more comfortable with the guy that has actually been in games and has started a playoff game and played decent. That's all I'm saying. Do you know how many if we pull up the list of QB3s, Deke, and we really look at these QB3s.
We should do QB3 rankings.
Yeah. We got time this offseason. We got time. But QB3 is like, yo, this is bad. This is bad. So you start looking for who got experience. It would be interesting
to look at. Yeah, he's probably appropriately QB3.
You see what I mean? Like, that's what I said. I said QB3. He's the emergency third quarterback. He's the dude that when you draft whoever we draft at quarterback, the whatever late dude, it's like, yeah, that's the guy that Skylar's going to be competing with. And I'm just telling you on the front end.
You're just too excited about it from my standpoint. Skylar, bro.
Because Skylar going, and it was the same thing. It was a nice little signing. I knew the name. I said, I know this guy. I've seen this one before. He's halfway all right. You know what I'm saying? I said, I've been in the stadium. He had my heart pumping a little bit. I like what I seen from the kid, man. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I'm rooting for him with whoever is our late round quarterback that we bring in. Because you know we're going to draft one like the 6th, 7th, or we're going to undraft the unrestricted free. We're going to bring somebody in. I
like you were
Skyler.
rooting for Kyle.
I got my money. Yeah, like I was rooting on Kyle last year.
Kyle Allen versus Plumlee.
Yep. And I went with Kyle because of the experience. So I'm just letting you know on the front end, Deke, I'm going with Skylar Thompson. Whoever we bring in, I got Skylar Thompson.
As long as he's not a legitimate threat for QB2.
I got my money on Skylar. Skylar's my QB3 this year, man. If you want, bring in Mike White too, man. We just did. We just do them all like that. But he's in play right now. He's winning playoff games. You know how that go, man.
He's with the Bills, isn't he?
He's QB3. Yeah, that's all you're looking for.
I'd rather have him as QB3 all day, every day.
And he's no different than Skylar Thompson. He's literally no different. It's like, yo, you had a little bit of a run. It's darted out a lot of places. And it's like, yo, just keep him around. You give great looks in practice. Yeah.
D'Andre, I feel like what we should do is run it back with Mike, Arthur, and Justin and draft 2 receivers, a back, and get a free agent receiver.
He said, when he said Mike, I was like, Mike who? Mike Tomlin. Jeez.
That's fine.
Big on receivers, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Add to the personnel. If we're going to do if we're keeping coaching, if we're keeping a lot of things consistent, we have to upgrade heavily on offense. That's,
Beer Coffee, our best path to contending is copying the Lions. A leader of men head coach, B-plus quarterback, fire the OC and DC, and get better draft picks, all awful /mid since 2018, especially the first rounders. Do y'all have faith we could do that?
I don't have. No. Put all this. I have faith that anything can be done like that. I just don't know if it's going to happen in the time that you guys want. I mean, we look at that and it's like, oh, okay, well, Detroit only took them 3 years. So I'll sign up if I know on the front end it's only 3 years. But what if it was going to be 5? What if it was going to be 7? Like, I think when we're sitting here from the nice luxury spot of we're not that, we still feel we're a lot closer to winning. I think the idea of, I'll be open to, a season or two of badness if that means I'm going to get right back on top. But we've seen that isn't the guarantee.
I'm just in the whatever it takes standpoint because
until we get into it,
we have the differing opinions on how close we actually are right now.
Mm-hmm. How long would you be willing to wait? That's the real question.
Whatever it takes, because I don't know if what we're doing right now is getting it done either.
Because we say whatever it takes, but you are in the playoffs every year with a chance, whatever it takes. Now, would you be willing to go another 10 years of never being in the playoffs if that meant on year 11 you win the Super Bowl? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't agree with that.
Let's see what happens this year. Because obviously we're not moving off of Tomlin right now, so we're going to have another year of more information. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. I like this whole Lion strategy, though. I mean, the leader of men head coach, Tomlin's already that. Mm-hmm. I think he needs to delegate the work to the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, let them do their thing. Mm-hmm. I am saying fire Terrell Austin. I am saying replacing him, but I'm good running it back with Smith. Given that we've only seen 1 year with him, we haven't got multiple years just yet. So run it back with Smith. Let him and Fields cook.
So you feel like Fields can be the B+ quarterback play?
Yeah, I think he already did for the 6 games. Okay. I think that was at least B+. So yeah, he's got to do it over the course of the season for sure. But I like that. I like that approach. It could be done this year. It could be if we make the right moves this offseason.
All right.
And you got to get Fields got to play good. That's the other thing. Like that's a huge X factor in all this.
1,000%.
Fields got to at least play like he was in those 6 games and ultimately get better and better.
But that's the Lions. Goff is playing dang good.
Yeah. Next, we got Big Noriega saying, I say trade up and get T-Mac in the first by trading GP in our first and 2026 third and draft Jalen Milroe in the second and keep Fields.
My man said, I want Jalen Milroe. He said he want scary Terry McLaurin. That's T-Mac he's talking about, right?
No, T-Mac is the guy coming out of Arizona.
His
name's
never
tough
mind.
to pronounce.
Yeah, I know you're talking
about.
Yeah, respect.
McMillan?
Respect. I was everything about Terry. I was like, Terry McLaurin is proven. I like that proven one. All right, he trying to sell the house and go get him a young boy. Okay.
Trade up.
All right. Yeah, I have not watched him all the way just yet. That's coming up soon.
So we're just replacing GP with T-Mac because we're trading GP in our first to move up to get T-Mac.
Yeah.
And then we're trading. Oh no, we're trading a first and a 2026 third Oh, man.
Because you got to move up. That's what he said.
Yeah, you got to move up. Damn. I mean, are we getting another receiver, too? We getting a T. Higgins? That's fine.
Catch what I'm saying? I'm like, I feel like you put me back in the same spot I was just in.
And
I lost a draft pick or two, yeah.
Right. Right, because you can just keep GP and then draft the guy in the first. And
yeah.
you have your 2 receivers.
Right, because we pick it at 20. Is it 20, right? Yeah. Or 21. Yeah.
They're saying it's McMillan. He'll be going in like the top 10.
Yeah. So you can move up. But yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'd much rather
It's too much.
Yeah.
We typically do good drafting receivers in the 2nd and 3rd round.
But how'd you feel on Milroe, though? He did bring him up specifically.
No.
You anti-Milroe? At Bama?
2nd round, definitely no.
Okay.
Too high. Way too high. We need to draft a corner. We need to draft legitimate pieces in the 2nd round that could play for us.
But if that's the X factor of quarterback, though.
Well, he's also saying keep Justin Fields. If I'm keeping Fields, like
you
already got your upside quarterback, hopeful franchise quarterback in Fields. I don't think there's a point in drafting that guy.
It worked with JJ and Sam Darnold, though.
It worked. I don't know if it worked.
It worked, man.
I don't know if it worked.
They won 14 games. It worked,
still got to
bro.
see a lot more from that. You got to see how JJ McCarthy
perfect,
plays.
bro. It was perfect. Yeah, it worked. Yeah.
JJ McCarthy was drafted in the top 10. JJ McCarthy was a national champion in college.
It worked, man.
JJ McCarthy, if he was in this draft, I think he would go.
He'd be number one.
He'd be number one.
Yeah,
he'd be in the conversation for number one. There's no doubt about it. That's a little different than Jalen Moto. If you're talking about Moto and the I don't even know about 3rd or 4th, like the Jackson Dart type of thing.
Yeah.
Of just flyer guy to bring in here as the backup, let him work his way up the system, and you see what it is in a year or two if things don't work out with what we got going with Fields. That's fine, but not in the 2nd, not as a priority. No way. What do you think?
I mean, I'm with you, bro. Yeah. I want all of my resources, especially anything that's going on the offensive side of the ball, to be allocated to playmakers that can help me right now. I don't see the benefit in having the long-term backup option with the long-term, this is the right now option. I want
especially
one or the
if you're
other.
bringing back Fields,
I want one
too.
or the other.
He's young. Like, he's 25.
And to me,
and all the talent in the world, too.
Fields and Milroe, I'm looking at them the same. I feel like Fields is further along because he has multiple seasons under his belt of production, but I still look at both and say they're incomplete products that I'm hoping can develop into this, well-rounded quarterback and not just a great athlete that plays quarterback. So yeah, like I said, if we're gonna do that, give me actually like a wide receiver or something that can like help
100%.
that guy. Yeah.
Fields was better than Moto in college. I think Fields has the better arm. More dynamic runner. Maybe you could give the nod to Moto there, but I think Fields has he's a little bit more of a physical runner, bigger body.
It's hard for me to say Milroe's the better runner when I literally just.
More dynamic. I don't know how to phrase it.
Fields
is a different
for
style.
Rushing yards in a season.
Fields
and the
has a different
football
style.
Level. Yeah.
I think he is like less agility, less side to side than what Milroe's got.
He's more intentional with his run.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I think at this level,
downhill,
you have to do that to hit it and get it. You don't see a lot of dudes just sitting there like Shady McCoy, right? How many dudes do we see really sitting there and breaking you down like that? Man, you're gonna get crushed like that, man. You better and go. Fields do that, man.
Yeah. Either way, I think Fields has the better upside and has proven more.
Yeah.
So I think there's no reason for me to.
Yeah. And he's already been in my system. That's the other part.
Exactly.
I think
he already proved he can play winning football. Go 4-2 in 6 games.
Right. I'm like with Fields, I would much rather retread with him than go Milroe. And now I'm asking, okay, number one, is this dude capable of playing at the National Football League level? Number two, can he grasp Arthur Smith's concepts and scheme? Is he the right fit for it? And I mean, it's just like
it's different if you're talking about him being the 4th round pick versus
we're talking
second
round. Yeah. Yep.
All right, we got Greg Yeager, Steelers 1st round picks from 2018 and on. Edmonds, Devin Bush. We traded for Minka Fitzpatrick. Najee, Kenny, Broderick, and Falatanu.
So I think we all learned that, if you don't hit on your first rounder, it's going to have a ripple effect. And when I say hit, it needs to be a second contract guy. If they're just okay, which some of those guys were just okay, they were good players, they just weren't great. But if you don't hit on a great player in the first round, it's going to hurt you unless you win via free agency. I think that's what that kind of backs from my eyes. How do you feel about it, though, man?
Yeah, need to be better in the draft.
Yeah, I don't look at any of those dudes and say, like, completely god awful, never got any production. but was the production worth the first round pick? And that's the whole convo when we talk back to TJ, Minka, and Patrick Queen from a contract standpoint. Not saying that everything y'all have done is bad, but is it making this, this compensation that we put on you, does it validate that? Because if it doesn't, then yeah, it's going to be open to heavy criticism.
Dondre Zell, also, I think we should change our draft strategy with the receiver group as far as getting less divas. I agree.
I think that's a great call. That's definitely the goal. Yeah.
Can we get a Hines Ward in here?
But is he a diva if he a dog too?
What do you mean by that?
Just saying. Would we call DJ or GP not dogs? When we watch them play, we don't ever feel like they're not dogs, but we do still see some of the diva stuff.
They're not Justin Jefferson. They're not AB.
But
those are dogs.
But we name two of the greatest receivers to ever play in the National Football League. I don't think that that's like completely fair, man. We're talking about like those are like first ballot gold jacket dudes. You know what I mean?
Don't be giving us the headaches then. Unless you're on that level, then it's a little bit more. We could overlook this.
I like your approach to it, man. I like your approach to it. You would be cutthroat as a coach, man. You Belichick. You want to be Belichick. That's the energy you give off, bro. You give off complete Belichick, and as long as you got Brady on your team, you gonna be perfect. But boy, if you ain't got that guy, oh man, yeah, you gonna be bumping with a lot of heads in there, bro. I like it though because it is true, like discipline, like. I'm not dealing with a ton of crap. Like, do it this way or I'm moving on from you. The only reason I don't think it works at this level is because you don't get the luxury of, man, I'm going to just go recruit whoever I want. We got contracts, we got salary caps, and I have to make some of this work. If not, you moving on, it's not just the loss of the player. I also got to deal with the loss of cash as well. Dead caps, and now I really can't even replace what I need to get replaced. And it's going to be looked upon very badly of the people that's there, coaching staff wise. So that's all. But I like what you're doing though, man. That's for certain. That's that belly check right there, man. It worked. It worked for Belichick. You think about it. When they had Brady, how much they won and how much they were not putting up with any glimpse of nonsense. Chandler Jones, who are you? I don't care. Get up out of here. Oh, what's the Jamie Collins? You nice, right? Go to Cleveland. I ain't paying you. You said you did what? He'll sit. I don't care if it's a Super Bowl. You're like, bro, what did you just do?
I would like to think I wouldn't be all the way there, though, and how I handle things if I was in that situation.
Are you going to enable some of this behavior? Is that what you're implying there?
You
see it's a slippery slope.
I know. You got to pick your spots, though.
It's a slippery slope. You don't want to enable it.
It is, yeah, absolutely. You also want to be relatable, though. You also, and I think Tomlin does do a good job of all that. Yeah. I think he is a solid leader. I think he is a solid head coach. I've talked about that a ton. Yeah. But yeah, I think there are points, there are breaking points in all this stuff of what do you put up with, what should be allowed, how does it affect the locker room. Like you got to be able to see all that.
No, facts.
And you got to look yourself in the mirror and how it affects the rest of the team too. I just know recently things haven't been working with, to his point, some of these more problem receivers or diva receivers.
Yeah. No, that's real life.
Yeah, part of it, maybe part of it's not having Big Ben. I mean, Big Ben helped you gloss over a lot of this stuff.
When you're winning, you gloss over a lot of everything, man. Right now, they just ain't winning enough.
Yeah.
So all this becomes a lot more loud. That's all.
Greg Yeager, name another team that has more problem receivers.
I mean, you go around the league, find problem receivers now. That ain't hard to find.
You might be right. I mean, you look at this history.
I'm listening.
Claypool, Juju, Deontay, now Pickens, AB, Martavis.
So are we just saying receivers that were just disgruntled at some point? Because if that's the case, we can it's multiple receivers like that. I thought we were talking about the AB caliber guy.
They've flailed out too.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, who are we talking about? Yeah, are we talking about legit the AB type? Because if we just naming dudes just to name them, I'm like, none of them dudes mattered to that extent. To where we saying league wide, like, oh yeah, man, that dude's like, bro, with Claypool, no, we was caring about that to that extent. No, league wide, man, whatever. DJ, this is like whatever. I'm talking about the AB type.
To the point
where
the
GP type.
To the point we're moving off of them though.
Okay, respect that.
We spent resources on these guys, had a significant role, and we had to move off them.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
It's a pretty consistent clip we got going with these dudes.
It's just I feel like that's one of those things where because it's our team.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
I'd be interested. That's all I'm saying. I feel like with
we got a bunch of guys.
We focus a lot more on it. Yeah.
We definitely got a bunch of guys that are notable, have played significant roles. We've used resources on, and then we got to move off of it. It's just it's been too far gone with them for whatever reason. I think he's right. If we wanted to do extra research. James Skitko, one of the worst things when we lost is hearing all the trash talk about firing everyone, even Coach T. Well, I mean, I hope we can just keep things intact and get better. Thanks for keeping me and us positive, guys.
No, salute, baby.
I mean, that wasn't coming from me, the positivity.
Hey, look, I'm just glad you ate it all black again, bro. Like, yo, my man got some color, we got some lightness. I still feel better. You smiling a little bit, like, yo, we're in a better place right now. All right.
Yeah, at some point, I'm going to be calling this team Super Bowl contenders again. At some point, but
if you're back, yeah.
I'm at the point though. Don't be surprised if we're sitting here again at the end of the season, 10-7, playoff loss, and getting shelled by a legit contender. Yeah. Because, I mean, I and a bunch of Steeler fans, we're starting to look like the Joker meme. Looking in the mirror, we got the clown look to us with the Steeler gear on. Oh, we're gonna be Super Bowl contenders again with Mike Tomlin at the helm. And then the season ends, and we're looking foolish. We're looking like the Joker.
Yeah,
that's where we're getting at. So I probably will talk myself into this team at some point. But then I will probably look like a clown at the end of the year.
They gotta earn the
Don't
right.
be surprised if I look like I can't be surprised if I look like a clown again at the end of the year. I look foolish. That's where I'm at.
It's all good.
I'm not going to be surprised anymore.
Do the people that don't believe then, if the Steelers actually do win, does that make them look like clowns then? Is that what you're implying? Because if so, then it could work out either way. We good.
Hold on, say that again.
I said, so if that means since you have hope, and if you're saying that if it ends like how it currently did, right, and we don't make it, then you look like the clown.
Yeah.
So my thing is for the people that don't believe, if they actually do win it, does that mean that they're the clowns? Or do they get to just enjoy the success and not have to have any skin in the game? Because I don't like that. I think that's not fair. That's my whole issue when people be like, fire Coach T or we suck. It's like, well, why y'all be the ones clapping, talking about we great when we was having the 10 wins? Like, if it was so bad from start to finish, man, why y'all ain't keep that same energy from start to finish? Don't be picking and choosing when y'all want to jump on the we win and we hot. Oh, we switch this. That. Like, no, stay over there then. That's how I look at it. That's what I'm just asking. Like, if they don't believe, do they look like the clowns when it's done? Yeah, because if so, then drop them clown emojis on them too. That's all I'm saying. That because you can't have your cake and eat it too. Yeah, you don't want to. I don't want to take the risk, but I want to have the reward. No,
they're fine as long as they're investing time and as long as they're watching the games. I think that's fine. I think it's different if you're one of those where I'm not watching the game and
that's what I'm talking about though. Yeah, I ain't showing up. Ain't getting no money. All right, cool.
I'm not but watching when we win, the games anymore.
I want you to keep that same energy. That's yeah.
If you're complaining about Tommy, you're complaining about the team, but you're still watching, it's like you're fans still. Like,
yeah. Like
the actions speak louder.
Yeah, don't tell me you're not watching when I see you how packed and how y'all act when they winning and winning. Like,
you have the right to have those takes if you're watching. You can say whatever the hell you want.
Right. I'm like, if you really in it, be in it. But don't give me the, man, all right, I'm going to say this over here, but now we win. Oh, I told you it was good. No, man, cut that out.
You could say it as long as you're invested, as long as you're watching.
Hey, man, respect.
As long as you're watching, as long as you're invested. If you're like, I'm not watching another game till Tomlin's fired, and then you pop up in the playoffs, that's different.
Now, Greg got me. Greg he get me. He's like, yo, Bo still be understanding the fans mentality, and you right. I'm trying, man. I've been hanging around a ton of fans for a long time, but I be like, yo, some of the stuff I be getting on with, but other stuff I be like, no, I can't, no. But I like it though. It's fun. I'm learning though. I'm learning.
Yeah, we just, we've takes. We throw takes out there.
I like it. That's all.
It's
the passion. It's passion driven. Yeah, it's passion driven.
Yeah, we're willing to change your mind. It ain't that deep. I think that's where you throw your takes. It's like, okay, Wanted to fire Tomlin, but we're not. Okay, how can this work? What can be the silver line? How can we get this to work? And I got my plan. I've already given my plan, and now I'm starting to get on the optimism train. It's slowly but surely. I probably will at some point. And I
like that. But
might be looking rough at the end of the season.
I can dig it.
I'm not going to be. I guess I'm guarding myself a little bit because of what we've been seeing with this team the last 7-8 years with Tomlin at the helm. It's just like, all right, at this point, don't be surprised. At least these last few seasons, we've had certain change. There was certain tangible reasons for hope with the defensive turnover, getting Arthur Smith in here, the new quarterbacks and stuff. But now it's like, okay, bro, I don't know. We made all these changes. We're bringing back Tomlin. Another 9-8, 10-7 season. Okay. I'm not gonna be surprised about it anymore. I'm not.
And I think from my side, man, we look at it very analytical, very X's and O's. Like, it didn't work, but remove emotion, remove feelings. It wasn't as good. It wasn't as bad. But what actually was why? And we focus so much on that part than the, oh my God, there's another loss, or oh my God, we won. Like, let's do it. It's like, yo, we gotta be so even killing. It's almost just like surging, like what did go right, what didn't go right. No matter if you won, lost, how big, how bad, it doesn't matter. Every single game, it's what did you do well, what didn't you do well, how do we maximize this, how do we minimize this, and then after we done with all that, it's like, all right, now we'll think about the feelings part of, man, but that I felt like this though, man. I thought this could have. It's like, yo, we don't want to hear none of that. Like, yo, what happened? Like, don't tell me about the labor. Show me the baby. Like, don't. Yes. No. Did you make this play? If you did not, it's a minus. Did you make the play? Okay, good. It's a plus. And now we're going to add them all up. Don't tell me you played well because you felt like you played well because the fans said you played well. When I'm looking at you have 30 minuses, you did not play well out of 60 plays, man. Get up out of here. Now, you did have them 2 touchdowns or you did have them 2 sacks. So it's like, I get why they say that, but we don't feel like that. And that's that difference with it, man. I like it, though. I'm learning it. I'm learning it, baby. Heck yeah.
Now, the 7 takes from back in the day, that was too far. Those were egregious. Those were unforgivable takes.
That was just fans being passionate. Deke, don't do them like that. They said thank you 7, bro. They said thank you 7. They said it with kindness and respect. With all due respect.
I warned everyone. I literally warned everyone. Because look at the conversation we're having right now. We're talking about we need a quarterback.
We need a wide receiver too.
We need a league quarterback. We need a guy. I tried telling everyone, Ben's a top 5 guy all time, top 5 quarterback all time.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't change
still play.
That doesn't change that he's that. Yeah.
He can still play. Let's not take this for granted. He's got a couple years left. Mm-hmm. Let's actually build an offensive line around the dude. Obviously, he's not as mobile as what he was back in the day, but if we build an offensive line and give him a defense that's not 30-second and stopping the run, we might actually be able to do some damage, given that with those surroundings, we still made the playoffs and 7 led the league in game-winning drives. We moved off of him. Pseudo forced him into retirement. Fans were saying thank you 7. Ran him out of town. And now we're here. And now we're here.
It's kind of messed up, bro.
It really is. Listen, you want me to put this even into more perspective here?
Heck yeah,
7's last season. More evidence of the sabotage, as if there wasn't already enough evidence out there. His offensive line, Dan Moore at left tackle.
Dan's a starter, 4-year starter in the league, man.
4th rounder at the time. Kendrick Green, starting center.
They said he had Pro Bowl caliber in Houston.
We tried him out at fullback a couple times here.
He looked good at fullback.
That just goes to tell you how much
belief we had him in. He bombed a couple of people in Friday Night Lights. We like what we saw Friday Night Lights.
Kevin Dotson playing his wrong position over at left guard, should be at right guard. A wash Trey Turner. We signed for like $3 million off the scrap heap and just like, we'll have you be our starting guy. And then Chooks over at right tackle. That's the offensive line we gave 7 for his last year.
But Chooks, we compensated Chooks. We made sure that Chooks knew that we wanted to keep him.
Obviously, that was
because Zach Banner was hurt. Remember, Banner got hurt. Banner Tuesdays, he was hurt. That's all. But we were trying.
Not a good right tackle protecting that side of the line. His receivers, Claypool, Deontay, where are they at right now? That's what we gave Big Ben, and Juju got hurt. I think we had Ray McLeod as our 3rd receiver.
Ray been snapping though. Ray been doing his thing.
That's what we gave. That's what we gave Big Ben for his last season.
Ray been looking good. Don't you do Ray like that?
And I told you the defense.
Please, man.
We had Devin Bush starting at linebacker. We were 32nd in the league in stopping the run. I mean, pass defense was average to below average as well. And we wanted to blame Seven. And the people wanted to blame Seven and move off him. Matt Canada is offensive coordinator, too. Don't forget that.
I thought it was he had Randy Fichtner the year before that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We was trying, man.
Year before that, we had Randy Fichtner. He threw for 33 touchdowns and 10 picks.
People ain't like Randy. They said it was a yes man. So it was Ben's yes man.
Well,
so
we
they
should
ain't
have
like
kept
that.
him. Well, obviously, we should have kept him.
No, people said they didn't like it. And then they also, I remember this. They said that Ben's season was because of Ben, and he had Randy Fichtner unplugged. So he couldn't even hear what Fichtner was saying. So if that was the theory and that was the premise, then it shouldn't have mattered who Matt Canada was because Seven was that.
No, I'm telling you,
but that was the way
though,
they talked about it. I remember that. They said that, man, Fichtner's headset was unplugged, man.
I think Ben, for the first half of some of these, like he had less control of what he typically did of the offense. I mean, Batch said it. You know what I mean? Like, it's on record from, like, Dulac, Batch. They talked about how Canada had, like, serious influence over this offense. Ben couldn't do certain things like he used to be able to. And I think it was clear as day. You saw what would happen in the second half of these games when we're down.
Yeah.
Ben would start cooking. The offense would start cooking. I wonder why. So I don't even know what we were talking about there and how I got on that spiel. Yeah, the 7 takes from the fans back in the day. That's when things went too far. Those are unforgivable takes.
It just be funny, man, because it's like, I know you represent, like, fans. You know what I mean? But the chat, they be like, some of them be with you on that part, and then you got another side of them. They be like, no, they don't remember Seven like that at the end of it. They look at Seven differently. They say that he was holding back the future and that he was like the statue and all these other things. What they brought up. I know this is what you said, but that's what they were saying in the chat. I'm innocent. I'm just reporting the news.
He couldn't move the same way that he used to.
I'm gonna call y'all out. Tom J said Seven was a statue. They even put like a statue up there. That was what he said.
Get the dude a line.
Yeah.
Get the dude a line. You saw he was moving in that preseason.
I would agree.
But then he got rocked. I think it was for eight or 9 sacks in the second week of the season.
Remember, they won't help him up.
Exactly.
They help a man up.
There you go. That's what we gave Seven for his last season. O-lineman not helping him up.
We was high. I was high. Say, they really beat him up and didn't even pick him up.
I think he was legitimately hurt for most of that season.
Yeah, he was.
He was. Like, he was dealing with something. So that hurt his mobility too. But that wasn't talked about at all.
Listen, Spice Creations, they ain't hearing none of that. Spice Creation says Ben was washed in his last year.
See, these are bad takes.
That's what Spice Creation said.
These are bad takes.
I'm just throwing it out there, bro.
I don't want to hear from these people.
Hey, Javon Curry says, bro, Seven was old and couldn't move. That's what they said. These are fans. Not play. Fans are saying this, Deke. All right, these are your people. These are your homies. They saying honestly, this, Deke.
If you look at that last playoff game, that Chiefs game, well, I think the defense let up like 40-something points, but it was a closer game in that first half. From what I remember, there were 2 passes thrown Deontay's way that could have been taken to the house that it went right through his hands.
This is accurate. That's when we started calling him Dropson.
I mean,
but we knew that's what DJ was. He was going to give you 90+ catches and about 6 drops, and it was going to come at real bad times, but he was going to be productive. That was why we had the argument about when we paid him. I'm saying.
But even with these bad 7 takes, I know these people care. As long as they're watching, they're invested in the Steelers. Like I think that's the thing. I think that's why we can. I don't know. We could get at each other. We could say, like, I think your guys' takes are terrible. They could say it back, and it's just like it's whatever. We both love the Steelers, and we're just.
Well, I was gonna say John Wright.
We're trying to figure it all out, but those takes are wrong. Those are flat out wrong.
I was gonna say John Wright, to give you some duality.
Those negative takes on Ben are just flat out wrong.
To give you duality, John Wright says, "Bro, y'all a bunch of 7 haters."
Yep.
So
absolutely.
you can see it, right? You know what I mean? Like, So
I haven't used that phrase in a while.
You got some people with you, bro. They got some people with you, man.
Fake fans.
You ain't solo. You ain't solo. Yep. So you good.
It's like the Patriots moving off of Brady.
Yeah.
I said it at the time. I said, Patriots, you guys are idiots. He still got it. I still see the arm strength. Build a better team around him. Now, maybe they couldn't because of how much they sold out for some of the Super Bowl runs and stuff like that. Maybe they couldn't get some of those weapons. But, he still got it. And you saw what he did in Tampa when he actually had some good things around him. He had receivers, had a line. Obviously, he's now Brady. I guess he was he able to? He was never as mobile as Ben to begin with. So either way, he had a line. He had good things. Had a good defense down there in Tampa Bay, and you saw what happened. I think if Ben got that, which we did have a decent draft. I think we did have better teams in 2022 and 2023 than what Ben had in 2021, I think we would have got at least double-digit wins and had better chance in the playoffs than what we did with Kenny, Mason, and Mitch. Absolutely. I mean, I've been on record saying that.
No, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. But I think at that stage too, man, that was literally the team just deciding, like,
imagine
we have
Ben
to start
with
moving forward. But I think they were just saying we had to start moving forward. We can't keep, this slow conclusion. They were like, how much longer are we going to do this? Because now we got to figure out, are you the guy that's going to be here the next 5 years, or do we need to start planning for that guy? That was the Mason Rudolph approach, right? And I think by the time it got to them saying, we're ready to move on officially, you had already had Seven have an injury, right? The major elbow injury. You had also seen him come back, look good, but we had the 11-0 start and then the drastic decline. We all remember how that playoff game started off, regardless of how he finished it, because everybody's going to have different opinions on that. You are one of the guys that always talk about garbage time stats. Some people look at that and say, the game was over when he started putting up the numbers that he put up. It was like lipstick on the pig concept.
We got it. Here's what I'll say, though. We did get it to, I think, 10 points with 10 or 11 minutes left, and we had the ball 4th and 1.
Yeah, we did.
And we decided to punt. I think that was an egregious mistake.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But I just think that some people still look at it like, it wasn't as smooth at the end of it. You know what I mean?
I think from what I saw, it's just like this dude still has it. You're gonna have to give him a decent offensive line though, and like you could cook with this. You could absolutely still cook with this version of Ben.
But is that a long-term thing, or is that we're still in the here right now thing? And I think that's
well, obviously we're still doing the here and right now thing though, even
to an
with
extent, yes, but not by
the changeover at quarterbacks.
I don't think that was the intention. When you draft Kenny, the intention wasn't for him to be gone in 3 seasons. The intention was that's supposed to be the guy for the duration, but obviously it didn't work. So then we said, all right, let's start it again with obviously Russ and Fields. We saw varying levels of success from both of them. Now we're about to see, do we stick with one of these two, or are we going a completely different direction? But like, it's not we're just doing 1 year. We're trying to find the long-term answer. And that was why they moved off of Seven at the time, because they were trying to find the new long-term answer. No matter how good we thought Seven could play for another year or two, you still feel like, man, we don't have a future at that position outside of the next 3 years. And that's if he can still play well, can stay healthy, the pieces around him do what they're supposed to do. That's not long-term planning. But his legacy definitely rewarded or warranted, patience with him. Give him that extra year or two at the end of the day, because he has earned it. He has done all these things on the front side. And I just think that was where we kind of got caught in between. And when we thought the transition was going to work with the give me Kenny Pickett, let me bring in Matt Canada ahead of time, but hey, I got a young coordinator and there's some, you know what I mean? But either way, it's like you could just see how they were trying.
We made a mistake.
They made mistakes.
And how we did that. Yeah.
And I don't think that the mistake, it happened. Like, they're human. That just means they weren't perfect. But I see the intent behind it. I don't think
I warned them of the mistake, though.
Well, and that's fine. It's easy to do the hindsight 2020. I got the answer to the test. But in that moment, if they would have been saying, man, what's your long-term answer outside of these next 3 years? What would the answer have been? We wouldn't have had one. So that was why they responded the way that they did. But unfortunately, we still trying to figure that out. And no different than moving on from a quarterback, which is a major change. It takes time. No different if you're switching GMs, you're switching head coaches, you're switching ownership. Whenever it's a major change, if you don't get it right, it can set you back for years. We've already went through one, and we're trying to figure it out. And I think that's the part, even from a coaching standpoint, why, once again, Mr. Rooney isn't in a hurry to ever switch off, or not ever switch off, but he's not in a hurry right now to switch off, because he's like, I know we're still dealing with the ramifications of moving from Ben when we did. And some people think that we stayed too long on that. But either way, you can see when you move off from that, it's going to have an effect unless you get lucky like the Packers did, right? Where you find that guy, he comes in right after Brett Favre, and you end up with Rodgers. And then from Rodgers, you get to Jordan Love. It's like, that's rare. Most teams is what you seeing what happened with the Patriots right now. Or you talk about the Bills when it went from the Jim Kelly, it was like, how many quarterbacks until you find the next guy?
That's why I feel like it's so critical for us to give Fields a chance, because the way you get that guy, if you look at the top 6 or 7 quarterbacks that are out there, they're all drafted early in the first round. They're either the number 1 overall pick or drafted in the top 10 outside of Lamar. So
that's right. Lamar Hurts, because those are the two that Coach T brought.
Hurts, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even put him in 6 or 7 though. He's probably like 8 or 9. He's in the top 10 either way. He's a franchise quarterback. But those, him and Lamar are more of the outliers.
Mm-hmm.
We have one of those top 10 dudes on the team right now in Fields.
Yeah.
Because we're never picking in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
We're the last time we did, it wasn't even 10, it was 11, and that's when we got Big Ben.
Yeah, we tried multiple first rounders the past 3 years. Mitch, a former top 5 pick. Fields, a former, was it top 10? Kenny Pickett, a top 20. Haskins, a top 15, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have Russ, who was the most decorated of all of them, but he's technically the 4th round draft pick. But he's the most accomplished in terms of actually doing this and doing it to a high level. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what happens with Fields. Well, we'll see what decision they make.
I was going to say, because we don't even know the decision just yet.
I mean, actually, that'll put me in the tank. I'm not even going to – that'll put me in the tank. Because the reason I'm starting to get the optimism is because I'm thinking that the Steelers will listen to my plan.
Oh, okay.
Fire Austin, bring in Saleh, bring in one of these DCs. Let Tomlin oversee it. Bring back Fields. Let him and Arthur Smith take control of the offense. See if they can grow up together. If they don't do that, I don't know where I'm going to be at. I don't know if I will be able to even just sell myself on this being a legit team. I don't know if I'll get to that point.
Respect.
See how this offseason goes.
Respect.
Anouk, 29. Any thoughts on trading for Trevor Lawrence if we miss out on signing Fields back?
No Fields, no Russ.
I'm for
you got to go all in.
I'm for
it.
it.
Yeah, it's going to cost, but
I'm for it.
Hurt.
But if you're giving me the option between like Fields and Trevor Lawrence, let me do Fields because you're not going to have to trade the assets for him. You're not have to pay the contract.
Say, I know you was going with that way. I was
and
like, how you feel about it?
And you got the continuity with Arthur Smith. Let me take the chance on Fields. And I got to see him for the 6 games. I liked what he was doing. He played like in that Trevor Lawrence range of like a top 11, 12, 13 quarterback. For those 6 games, I know what you're going to say. You got to do it over the course of the season, which I agree. But I'll be willing to take that chance with a Fields over Lawrence. But if we don't bring back Fields, I think trading for Lawrence, trading for a Kyler Murray's in play. I would do something like that. That's like the Matt Stafford approach, kind of, where that these guys are talented, number 1 overall picks. Yeah. They've done certain things, but they haven't really. You just don't know if they've ever really been able to hit their full potential with these bad franchises. So team takes a chance on them, and you see what they can do with a little bit better structure.
Yeah, that is real.
I would do that 100%. No Fields, I'd go Kyler Murray or Trevor Lawrence. I mean, if they're available.
Yeah, let's say we saying if they're available, those are both $100 million quarterbacks for a reason. They have a lot of production at this level. That's why those teams even invested what they invested in them. So, it's a no-brainer for me. If those are available, I'm going to go get those.
Do you have a hierarchy of stuff? Like, I know you said you're good with bringing Russ back, but if you were given the option, Trevor Lawrence is available, would you trade for him before bringing Russ back?
That's legit. I think if I had to go off of my hierarchy, most cheap option the option that I feel the most comfortable with for the cost is Russ early on. I think from there, I would much rather go Fields as option number 2 because I don't have to give up a ton of resources and I still can build a ton around him. The only reason why I have Russ ahead is because I feel like Russ is still a better player at this stage and is less guesswork. If I'm bringing in pieces, let me bring in pieces with the proven driver versus pieces, and I hope that he can develop into a superstar. I think it's a lot harder for Fields to develop into that superstar than it is for Russ to give me more consistency of what he had already showed me at times this season. It's not like I didn't see him play well and didn't play well for spans this season. It was just not enough. And that is why I look and I say I need more resources around him. So that's my first options. Now, if neither one of those work, I like Kyler Murray over Trevor. I think Kyle's the more proven. I think he's the better player at this stage. Trevor, I love the potential. I love the arm. I love all that other stuff. But I look at that very similar to Justin Fields.
Out there, man.
Yeah, but I look at Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville like I looked at Justin Fields in Chicago. You're the Bentley in the hood. Like, you look nice, but I don't know if it's you that's choking and not being the reason why y'all winning, or if it's the pieces / organization around you that's the reason why you haven't been having the success. Because I think both of those guys, in terms of Fields when he was in Chicago and Lawrence in Jacksonville, are good players. But when you throw what the expectations are, especially with Trevor with the contract, and that's the reason why he's last on the list, because I think the money that it costs him, at least with Kyler, I'm like, if I'm going to pay that, at least I feel like with Kyler's more of a consistent being with the production.
Kyler's got 45 on his deal. Lawrence is 50,
50,
I think.
yeah. But I just feel like I have more confidence in Kyler giving me the return that I'm looking for versus Trevor. I think with Trevor,
I think he's got the higher upside.
Higher upside, but I think he has the lower floor. I think Kyler has the higher floor, but lower upside. Yeah.
100%.
And I think Fields has the highest floor of all of these dudes, but I think his floor is the lowest of all of them right now. And that's why I'm kind of stuck with him, because I'm like, I love his athleticism like I love Kyler Murray, and I think his size is better, but he's not as consistent. When I look at Trevor, I'm like, Trevor passes better, but I'm like, yo, I think that Fields' arm could be just as nice.
Yeah.
But once again, it's, can you hit the home run? And I don't personally like betting future or betting plans on outliers type stuff. I want, what is the thing that we feel is more than likely going to happen? And now from there, we can plan and build a plan around this. And if you turn into a great guy, great. But if not, just give me what I was expecting from you and we can work with that.
I think I'm just at the point, I don't think we're winning with Russ. Like, we're winning a Super Bowl with Russ. I don't think we're getting over the hump with him.
Yeah, and everybody has their opinion on it.
Which is why I'm willing to just throw him to the side and take a chance on all these other guys.
Yeah, for some people, they look at it as, what have you done for me lately? For me, I always base mine on the historical preference of, yo, what have I seen you do? What have I seen you recently do? But what have I seen you actually do? Don't tell me what you're capable of. What have you actually done? Don't tell me you can win it. Don't tell me you are a big, bad dude. I'm seeing the dude that done that. So that's why I find comfort in him.
And add to the fact, apparently Russ and Arthur Smith had a rocky relationship.
I mean, you know how this goes. Whenever you lose and the season's over, all it takes is a headline here or there, and we're going to form opinions on it. You know how that is.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I mean,
it is
not
funny,
everyone's going to.
I'm like,
that's the thing, though. I mean, this is a job for these guys. Not everyone's going to like each other, be each other's cup of tea.
I was like, we supposed to be like BFFs. Hey, come over to my house. And things. It's like, no, everybody ain't like that. Some is just coworker.
I do think it is valid, though. I do think that Arthur Smith definitely leaned more Justin Fields and wanting him to be the quarterback. But yeah, you try to make it work as best you can. Yeah, Tomlin made the decision. Yeah. What can Arthur Smith do? He's not the head coach.
Exactly. That was my whole thing. I'm like, we were acting like it was like surprising. Like Coach Tomlin pretty much told everybody the answer when he said, I made the decision. I did this. Not we did this. Not, hey, we talked about it as a collective. He said, no, I did this. I'm wearing this. So if it works, it's on me. But if it doesn't work, it's on me. So it's like, man, I can definitely understand why Arthur Smith would have went another direction.
I think it's a little point in Fields' favor coming into this offseason, though. If Arthur Smith does have any say on how this offense should be looking going forward, I think it's going to help Fields' case at least.
Yeah. And for Russ, obviously, you got the head, man. So everybody has a little bit of why they should feel good about it coming back, or why they feel like they should be in what they call it pole position. But we're gonna find out, baby. We definitely gonna find out.
When are we gonna find out actually? Because free agency isn't until March. But when can these deals actually get done for players that were on the team this year?
So those deals can get done anytime prior to March, prior to free agency happening. So yeah, but the way it typically happens, specifically with the Steelers, this week they're going through having their individual exit meetings, 1v1 player to coach, right? So at some point in time, Coach Tomlin has talked to Russ, has talked to Justin Fields, and he's told them, yay or nay, we want you back. If we want you back, go into the back room. If we don't want you back, then hey, you go out the front door. Now from there, that is just the initial, you know what this is. Do you want to be back? Okay, cool. We want you back. All right, cool. Now we'll start talking the numbers. My agent will reach out. We'll get everything going. That's the part that takes the longest, because now for the team, once we know that it's a common interest, now they're trying to figure out, where do we view you versus the other options? So I can want you to still be here, Deke, but if I feel like, man, I like this kid that's coming out in the draft, man, let me just see, what does that look like? Where do we think this kid is supposed to get drafted? If we think he's in our late first round range, I might not view you as the big priority compensation wise, because I think I can still get this over here. So even though we've both said that we agree upon each other and we want to be here, I'm not doing anything until after the combine, after pro days. I need to see what this looks like, because if I think it is capable, then you can leave in free agency. I'm gonna draft that. I'm already planning on it. We're feeling good. Like, and if not him, then I got that option as well. But it might be the other option. You say you want to be here. I want you here. That's Sam Darnold. I ain't really trying to commit $30 million to that. That's Kirk Cousins over there, man. I got a trade and I got this $100 million contract.
Where's he rank on your priorities?
He's very low. Because okay. I got to give up multiple. I got to give up draft.
Is he higher than Trevor?
No.
Okay.
No. He's last on the list because I got to give up the draft pick, and I'm sure Atlanta is going to want to be heavy-handed to recoup. All right? So I don't want to touch that right now. But you're looking at the field and you're like, man, I don't like this draft class. I don't like this Sam Darnold. I don't like this guy over here. Man, all right, I'm willing to pay you 15 now. I might be willing to pay you more because I don't feel as good about that. But I don't know that January 16th. As much as we want that answer today, I don't know that answer because I haven't had a chance to go to that pro day just yet. I haven't had a chance to talk to his coach, watch the countless hours of college tape that we all shift into now because we've been doing every week. Preparing for Lamar Jackson, preparing for Patrick Mahomes, preparing for Joe Burrow. You ain't got time to watch them college games like that. You might catch it in passing. You might know, some of the bigger name dudes. But when we talking about, is this guy definitively better than this guy? You like, whoa, I ain't ready to make that decision just yet. I got to go cut this tape on. So that's what this process is going to be. But I do think that we will know one way or the other. If we don't have an interest in Fields or Russ, we'll know that, I think, by early next week. I think that'll come out then because they would have already have met. And after that meeting, everybody does the same thing, especially if you're an unrestricted dude. You shooting your agent a text, hey, bro, they said they want to do business. Or you might already know going into it they want to do business. But we all do the same thing because now it's like, all right, cool. It's confirmed. Whereas right now, before you have that meeting, it's speculation. Yeah, I might think they want to go this way, but they might surprise me. I might come in here and I'm thinking, I'm nice. And they like, hey, bro, we want a different direction. We won't know that until then, but that's what's happening right now. So I'm like, we're going to at least get that part early on. And then from there, we'll see how everything kind of plays out. But we'll know if they're eyeing one or if they think both are capable or if they don't want either one of them back. But that's the whole process of it, though, man.
If we don't bring either back, we have to trade for Trevor Lawrence.
You catch what I'm saying?
Or Kyler. We have to do something like that.
But that's the information that
we got to trade up and get Cam Ward
right
in the draft. There's no chance in how we're doing that. There's no chance.
But we know for certain we're not going to come back with something less than Fields or Russ. That's what I do know. Like,
yeah, so you think it sends a huge message if we don't sign that we're going to be big hunting.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know which way they're going to go just yet. Part of me says I can see Coach Tomlin saying, man, I feel like Russ, full all season healthy. I feel with multiple pieces, that's good enough. I could also see him saying, Justin Fields, man, I saw what you did in these first 6 games. Let me give you full all season keys to the car, bring you pieces around here. I can add more around you.
You have the better relationship with the OC too.
Right. You're a little bit more risk, but I can add more around you. Russ, a little less risk, but I can't add as much around you. And then I think of the Trevor Lawrence or the Kyler Murray, and it's like, okay, I don't get to add a ton around you guys at all. You guys got to come here, and I'm praying that change of scenery is what's going to get you guys back to this type of play.
I'm sure they could for this season, but we might be paying for it down the line.
Yeah, like it's like you'd have to do the whole Rams, the mortgage in your future for right now type concept.
You would restructure probably Lawrence or Mary's contract, restructure all those contracts on all them defense dudes.
Like you kicking the can down.
Honestly, you bring in a T. Higgins.
It's going to give you a 2-year window to go crazy, and you got to hit. But once again, it's predicated on who? That quarterback doing what he's supposed to do, whether it's Trevor or if it's Kyler. And if either one of them don't work, you are screwed for the next 7 years until you luck up on a Brock Purdy or you luck up on a rookie deal at quarterback and the guy can, make it work like we seen with Bo Nix. Think about how much dead money the Broncos had because of Russ's deal. Why does it work, though? You get the quarterback on the rookie deal that played above expectations, and now you got a legitimate shot.
Yeah.
So it can work, but it still all falls back to that quarterback spot. That guy either is the guy or he's playing close enough to being the guy. And if not, then you got all the pieces around him that's going to give you the imitation that he's the guy.
Yeah. Hoping it's Fields. Hoping we get it done with Fields. And that's it. That boy, a guy said Tomlin doesn't deserve his ring. I told him I'm the player that got the strip sack was Tomlin's pick. Asked about Ben's turnover. He said Tomlin because Betts needs coaching. He didn't reply when I stated he contradicted himself. I'm having a tough time reading this.
Man, you almost gave me a stroke watching you read that, man. Holy smokes, bro. Say that again.
A guy said Tomlin doesn't deserve his ring. I told him I'm the player that got the strip sack was Tomlin's pick. Asked about Ben's turnover. He said on Tomlin, because Bet needs coaching. He didn't reply when I stated he actually said contracted himself, but I did the spell check for him, contradicted himself.
Hey, yo, you made my head hurt, fam. I like it. Shout out, though. Shout out.
Yeah, that was a good attempt, I guess.
Respect.
It was a $20 chat, too.
Respect.
Put a lot into it.
Salute. But I say, because we still catching up from the other show.
We're still not done with yesterday's.
I was say bad, because we got a whole rack that it came in.
I got all the ones for today, too.
Okay, that's good.
I have them all.
All right, so that's be Monday.
Maybe that's what we do. Yeah, we just keep reading old super
Eventually we'll catch up. Eventually we're going to catch up.
Goose Bellamy. So Smith preferred Fields over Russ in the Kaboli report. Yeah, that's what we just talked about.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of being the head man. When you're the head man, you get to make the final decision. And that's why the head man gets all the criticism, but he also gets the success that comes with it. We don't bring up, I don't know who is his most longest tenured assistant, but we don't bring that guy up in reference to them not having no losing seasons or them having the Super Bowl and the appearances. Like, nah, we put that almost exclusively on Coach Tomlin. So in turn, it's like, yeah, you get to make all them decisions, man.
Jeff H., I remember DK saying that the team wouldn't let them run the ball and the other teams figured them out. Russ might just not be the answer. He is shorter.
Okay.
Something got weird with the offense.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have an answer on that one, but yeah.
Defense found us out. We got predictable. I don't know what it was, but it definitely wasn't the offense I remember in the middle of the season when we were sitting at 10-3. Now, granted, I think maybe the consistent theme over the offense for the whole year was some slow starts in the first quarter.
And then they get crazy hot second, third.
Yeah, and that just never really happened to that extent in these last 5 games.
Yeah, it started becoming third and super.
The only game I remember we really got off to a hot start was the Bengals game on the road as an offense, right?
Yeah, but that was after the pick six started.
Giants game, maybe. I think the Giants game, our offense was cooking throughout. If anything, they slowed down at the end because Russ, I think he fumbled. Him or Najee fumbled.
No, you don't. You put no fumble on Najee. You know Najee ain't fumble. Don't you do that?
I think he let one
Don't you put that on
Najee?
Don't you do that? No.
Russ definitely had a fumble that was an actual turnover recovered by the other team. I think it was that Giants game. No. But I'm telling you, Najee put the ball on the ground like 3 times this year.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Taylor made 3906. Maybe GP's injury was actually low key. Team imposed suspension. Are we getting back to that now? That would be the stupidest suspension ever.
You know it, but who knows what was going on behind closed doors? We didn't know about Christmas. Did you know? Were you late on Christmas Day? You know what I mean? Like, no, what are we going on behind doors? We know what's going on, bro.
1 game suspension, fine. 3 games in the heart of the toughest part of our schedule. That's stupid. That's just
did you punch a coach in the face? What did you do?
Especially if you're going to keep him around the locker room and keep him on the sideline. At least let him play.
I'm like, what did you do?
It's different if you want to just say stay home, do the Deontay Johnson thing like the Ravens did.
Yeah.
That'd be I think it's just not a legit conspiracy. I like conspiracies. I like the drama, talking back and forth about is this actually what happened? Is this just a smokescreen? But it would be the stupidest thing ever. I don't buy it. I don't buy the conspiracy.
I don't buy it. I'm with you. Absolutely not. I'm like, man, you're not sitting them dudes for the sake of I want to prove a point. Man, it's way too much involved. We all have jobs. I think that's the reality of it. Like we look at these athletes and we think, y'all just playing the game. It's like, no, this is a job. This is a full-time gig, man. The same way everybody else wakes up in the morning is like, how do I go punch that clock? How do I make money? This is what they do. So it's like when you're the head man or you're a decision maker, you don't do a ton of let me prove, a point to you if it's going to jeopardize potential employment, if it's going to jeopardize the outcome. Because think about if he actually set GP, right? Say something came out and it actually turned out that he set GP for a legitimate reason. Are we going to be saying, oh, yeah, it's all right that we lost them final 5 games down the stretch, man. It's all right because we was disciplining people. Oh, yeah, we get that, bro. You tough guy. Yeah. No, we're going to say, bro, you better come up with a different way of getting your message across, but that kid needs to be out there on the field. That's the reality of it. You know what I mean?
And I don't think at that point it was warranted. Because I don't think I can't even remember what Pickens did in the game or the game before or the 2 games before that. I remember talking about it at the time because the conspiracy came out whenever Pickens missed that home Browns game.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And I was like, bro, if there was ever a time to do it, it was
that one
last year after we went 7-7. He didn't block in the Colts game and all that stuff.
And
I think everyone would have understood
him a little bit.
The fans would have understood. The media would have understood. Everyone would have understood benching Pickens in that December 23rd, the Rudolph game.
Yeah.
Everyone would have understood that. But, like, yeah, this one randomly, like 3 games, it just would have been, I don't think it would have been warranted to that degree. And I, like I said, if you're going to do it, just keep him home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't have him on the sidelines and be a part of the team, right?
Absolutely. Less of a distraction that way. Yep.
Jeff H. says, Baker, Kyler, all the shorter quarterbacks that we've said when facing them, their height limits them plus Russ. Like Ben, I prefer not to hang on to an aging quarterback again. Just my 2 cents. Shout out to the Short Kings, though. Keep JF too.
Hey, respect on that, man. Respect. I can dig it. Trust me, I can dig it, man.
He's got like 2 main points here. I agree with one of them, disagree with the other.
I figured you would.
The shorter quarterbacks thing.
I figured you would.
The shorter quarterbacks thing. I get what he's saying. I kind of get what he's saying.
You'll get the other part, though, huh? Deke said, I don't get that part. I don't know what you're talking about the other part.
He says, Russ, like Ben, I prefer not to hang on to an aging quarterback.
Deke said, I don't get that.
Russ ain't Ben.
I don't got that. He said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, Russ ain't Ben. Russ, your point of hanging on to an aging quarterback, I think, is valid with Russ. It wasn't valid with Ben. Ben, I think, in his last 2 years was like 22-10, and had like 50 touchdown or 60 touchdown to like 20. I don't know, something. It's like a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, and had the 2-to-1 win percentage, 22 wins, 10 losses, something like that. I can't remember. So it's like, no, this is different, bro. This ain't apples to apples. Russ ain't Ben. Come on.
I like it, bro.
You could just say with Russ, he's getting up there in age. I don't want to have him anymore. You have to bring Ben into it. You're discrediting yourself.
Get him, Deke.
Jeff H, thank you, 3 and 7, and the GOAT, Duck Hodges.
Shout out to Duck Hodges, man. Quack, 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 quack. Shout out to Duck. That's crazy they was on them thank yous like that on that show. Because that's still from Monday's show. Or, from Wednesday's show.
Yeah, we got like 5 or 6 more from
respect
that show. Greg Yeager says, Tomlin saying 2 as a pattern was crazy gaslighting.
Everybody has their opinion on it. Once again, the gaslighting thing, I know that's like the new like trendy word, so a ton of y'all say it. But all he's saying is, man, you better figure out how to be successful. You better figure it out in a hurry, because at this level, you don't have a ton of time. You start making the same mistake 2, 3, 4 times. No, bro, you're getting fired. I got to move on from you. You know why? Because when you don't, and it happens in a playoff game, where the main ones are going to come up here and point fingers at that coach. Fire the coordinator, right? Fire the head coach. Mr. Rooney to sell the team, man. Like all these other different things. Why? Because dude can't do their job, man. So, here we are.
Zach Sinsberg, I preface this by saying I think Tomlin is a great coach, but I'm honestly starting to think his message has gone stale, i.e. Andy Reid in Philly.
Andy Reid in Philly went 4-12 his last season. Let's just make sure that we reference that when we do bring up why Philly moved on from him.
Greg Yeager, the problem with Tomlin's short-sighted approach is it leaves us with way more questions than answers. We talked about that a little bit last podcast. Of like one of the answers we needed to try to find this season was the quarterback, and we didn't.
Is it what makes the approach short-sighted is my question.
That's the thing. It's not necessarily. I just think with how the season ended, it's a little bit easier to say this stuff.
Yeah, because that's why I'm like short-sighted. Kenny Pickett, Justin Fields, those aren't short-sighted options to me. Those are potential like long-term options.
Yeah, whenever you're seeing what Fields does in those 6 games, maybe you're just thinking, all right, let's see what this dude could do. But then we just didn't know what Russ had. We didn't know if he could turn back the clock. Yeah. So like I think there was a case for, and we talked about this, for starting Russ and benching Fields. I would have stuck with Fields, but
at one point, everybody,
it's just we didn't get
a lot of people were on board with that decision. We didn't
get our answer. But I think
the end of it,
I think that goes with the talk that we're having right now in terms of like changing our approach. Maybe we do need to be a little less short-sighted and allow young guys like Fields or a young guy like Kenny Pickett from a couple years ago make some mistakes as opposed to just we got to figure out how to get out of the stadium with a win.
I say because we did allow Kenny to make mistakes. We did. Yes, we did. He turned it over a lot that first time. And that was when we started to shift it. We did. We just revisioned his history with it almost.
We did the start of his rookie year, and then at the bye, he tightened. I think they had one pick.
He played better
the last 8 or 9 games, and then in that second year, I mean, I think he only had, what do you have, like 4 picks?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so all of these things that we are bringing up as like criticisms of Coach T, as if he didn't, it's like he did. We just choose not to remember it that way because in the moment we don't have what we want. So we just turn a blind eye to all the things that did go right, and we only focus on what went wrong. And that's always been my whole issue when we're critical of these dudes. It's like, I don't have the issue being critical of any of them. We do that. But if we're going to be critical, let's make sure we bring up both sides of it. That's all. I
think Canada was just a huge problem with all that.
And that's fair too, man. Trust me.
I think he
doesn't have a track record of qualifications like Arthur Smith. He doesn't have a track record even with Terrell Lawson. It's like I can point to references of, I believe that these dudes know what they're doing, and I've seen them know what they're doing. We can't say that with Matt Canada. So trust me, I'm with you. He was a part of it. But once again, was he the only reason? Absolutely not. And we're still seeing that now with him being removed with certain things that are still showing up because it wasn't just him, which was what we tried to talk about back then when it was the fire Canada, it's Canada. It's like, it's not, but I get it. And that's what we're about to try to do with the DC again. It's like, just fire him, man. That's going to change. It's like, all right. But as long as that's there and that's doing that, you're going to still get what you're looking at. You can still get this again.
It's just once we did fire Canada, the offense was night and day better.
Yeah. But
at least with Kenny and Mason, Mitch sucked.
Can you also reference quarterback play was night and day better?
But I think that's part of it. I don't think Matt Canada knew what he was doing and how to tailor an offense a certain way for the quarterbacks.
The only issue with that argument, though, is we never saw the one dude that was struggling the whole time look better again. We saw Mason.
Who? Kenny did the first game.
You saw him for a game, not even a whole game.
And we had 400 yards of total offense. It was like the first time in 50 games or something crazy.
A game.
I know. That's Kenny's fault.
You know what I'm saying?
He gets hurt too much. But then Mason looked good. Mason looked really good. Mitch just sucked. I mean, that's a Mitch thing.
Mitch got another playoff win. Just remember that, man.
Come on, dude.
And he got appearance. He played in this game. Yeah, don't you do that. Yeah. Mitch threw a touchdown the past 2 weeks. Just remember that.
This is like the Tyler Huntley
Mitch done thrown a touchdown pass in the past 2 weeks, man. He touchdown, no picks. Just remember that, man.
Come on,
man. His stock is up. All right. Whose stock is higher right now? Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett? Ask yourself that, bro. Yeah.
I'd say Kenny.
I'd say Mitch. Yeah.
Because he actually played meaningful snap. Like, he actually started and did good things. Mitch is just in there for garbage time.
Oh, okay.
What did he throw? A screen that was taken
I'm just trying to
figure
like so is Kenny back in Philly next year? Is what you telling me?
I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I think he's the better quarterback for sure. Right, so whatever
we're gonna see, man.
Whatever team gets Kenny is gonna be happy that they got him instead of Mitch's. Most likely they're backup. I don't know. Maybe does Kenny get a chance to compete for a starting role?
For who?
Around here?
For what
I don't
team? Know.
Quarterback class is kind of weak.
Let him compete with Tanner.
I can't even front. McKee looks good.
All right.
Maybe it's not an indictment on Pickett. McKee looks decent. He could be one of those Tony Romo type of dudes.
There it is.
He looked kind of decent. Kenny was playing good too.
He was, man.
That's the problem. Just stay healthy, bro. All those stats are going to you.
Get your man.
He finishes that game with like 250, 3-4 touchdowns. Like, my God. Just stay healthy, bro. Stay healthy. Can't do it. Couldn't do it at Pitt either. I mean, really, the first like 3-4 years at Pitt, he was always injured. And then his senior year, he was finally able to get it all together. Stay healthy for a full season. But yeah.
It's like that sometimes. It's all good.
All right, we got one on JMU here from Let's Go UW.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Yo, Moats, I can't believe JMU got that quitter quarterback from UNLV in the portal. Over, under, he lasts more than 4 games this season. LOL.
I believe his name is Matt Sluka. The only reason I'm going to actually have a ton of confidence is just give me some more backstory. If you look prior to UNLV, he was at Holy Cross. He was there for multiple seasons and had a ton of success there prior to going to UNLV last year. Why did he do that? The current head coach of the James Madison University football team was the Holy Cross coach. So when Bob Chesney came over from Holy Cross, he came here. Obviously, Matt went to UNLV. That was the whole NIL debate about the money part.
Right.
Apparently, from his side, they agreed upon a payout. He gets there. They don't pay it. So he says, I'm not playing. If you don't pay me, I won't play. That was one of them big stances. So in turn, it was like that was the whole public, debate that went on. So now he just decided that, he's going to come to JMU because the coach that he had the success with for multiple seasons at Holy Cross is the head coach of JMU now. So that's the reason why, for me, I don't feel any concern with him. My only concern is he actually going to be good enough? They also signed a kid from Richmond. I think it's Camden or something like that. I got to look at the last name again. But it's like, all right, y'all two compete. We obviously got the kid that was there last year, Lonzo Barnett. He's just, coming back from the injury, though. He got hurt. We talked about that last game of the season, man. So I'm open to him. Like, I don't have the same type of fear that I'm sure another organization or another school might have, but it's because the dude that he actually had success with for multiple seasons, he's just coming right back to that. So that type of relationship, man, I feel a lot more confident in that. Whereas if it was just some random, like, we have no ties, I'm like, nah, bro, keep that. I don't want that one. Yeah.
Eddie T. Weight Loss Journey says, next year, AFC Championship. And if I'm right, Moats or Deke, send me a jersey of my choice. Tomlin is hurt. Better team next year. Did Tomlin get the flu?
Oh no, but who was his matchup? He said, or he's saying we going to the AFC Championship?
Yeah, he's just predicting it, so he's not even putting up any stakes.
I was like, who is he saying? And what's that?
He's just saying we make the AFC Championship, and if he's right, we own a jersey. He should have put the stakes lower. He should have said we win a playoff game.
Man, jeez, bro. What do we get out of it if we win a Super Bowl? Then we go. I want something too. Hey.
No, I guess he owes us something if that doesn't happen. That's what it should be.
Yeah, I would say I feel like we the only ones who got skin in the game. Yeah.
I mean, I want us to go to the AFC Championship, so
I want to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's even better.
And y'all hit that like button too one time for the coach. And don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel.
KLRS in 2022, we go 9-8 with a certified collection of garbage at half the starting positions and all depth spots. Bitter pill, we're still rebuilding. Let's go Steelers. Like I said, I thought the 2022 team was better than 2021 in terms of what we had surrounding-wise. With us drafting Pickens, we had another year of Muth. We still had Najee there. What was the O-line doing? I think, the O-line still wasn't.
Working on it, yeah. It was O-line.
Yeah, we made those signings. We made the Mason Cole, James Daniel signings. Mm-hmm. Who was our left guard? Was it Dotson? It might have still been Dotson.
Yeah, good call.
I think it was Dotson.
And Chooks was at
still
right.
Playing his wrong position.
Yeah, Chooks was at right tackle, and then Dan was left.
Yeah. Defense, though. The defense was way better in 2022 than 2021.
I would agree. I was trying to think. What was the year when TJ got hurt?
I think we finally got rid of Devin Bush.
That was the year when TJ got hurt? No, not 2022, right?
2022.
Because one of those years when TJ tore the pec.
It was, but then that's when he got healthy. We started cooking in the second half.
Yeah. But we missed him for, who was our
linebackers? Was it still Devin? I don't think it was.
No, that's Spillane. That's Spillane time frame. So it's got to be Spillane.
Dude, we were playing good football.
Yeah.
I know, because we won at Ravens on the road, Sunday Night Football. We won the Christmas Eve game, Raiders at home, Franco Harris Immaculate Reception thing. Yeah, we went 7-2 down the stretch. I felt like our defense was playing decent.
Miles Jack, shout out to Jeff H. Miles Jack was the
linebacker. Oh yeah. And that wasn't Wash Miles Jack.
Yeah, that was the year beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah, he played good. Okay, yeah, that defense. I just think that team was better than Ben's last year. Was it as good as what it was supposed to be this year in terms of, we get Patrick Queen in here, we got a JPJ, Keanu Benton, all this talent on defense? Sure. But I guess that's my point, and some other people's points. It's just like 9-8, 10-7. It's like same story with all these different cast of characters. It's disappointing. It's frustrating.
Yeah. No, like I said, I can definitely dig it, man. Some people look at the end result and they say, man, we have not done anything. We are still in the exact same place. Others look and they say, man, the fact that you have been able to maintain that while dealing with the cast of characters that you've had at the most important position, which is quarterback, points to why they believe in what's been going on, because they're saying if you're doing this without that piece, what happens when you actually get that piece again? We've already seen you went with it before. We know you're capable, but you just got to get back to having the Big Ben caliber quarterback. And until you do, how the heck are you winning 9 and 10 games again? Guess you know what you're doing. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean?
And we were on pace this year, being 10-3, definitely on pace. And I think, given this roster construction compared to what it was in 2021, 2022, even like this was supposed to be the best roster we've had in years, right? And to get 10-7, that's what you're just like, come on, bro. And everyone wanted to blame Kenny last year. Everyone wanted to do that. But to your point, it's just, it comes down to, you got the elite quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the X factor in all this.
At one
we
point.
still should have finished better, even.
Yeah, but we said at 10-3. At 10-3, we all felt great about every decision that had been made roster-wise. We felt great about everything that was going on with this team at 10-3, and that's just the part of what separates you from being just good versus being great versus being elite. We've shown you they're a good team. 10-3. You're a good team at that point. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But you're not a great team. You're not an elite team when you lose the 5 in a row to the caliber of teams that you lost to. But just because you're not an elite team doesn't mean you're a bad team either. And I think that's just the hard part for a lot of us to kind of like live in right now.
Definitely not a bad team.
Yeah, it's like, man, but the way that you've talked about it, and most people is like, yo, I'd rather go to a bad team than kind of stick where we are right now.
If it means we're just,
means we're going to get back.
I'll put it to you this way: if it just means we're going to be sticking where we are for the next however many seasons, it's just going to be a cycle of staying in this. Like that's the thing. I don't like if we could go from this to being Super Bowl contenders next year. That's what I'm signing up for.
Right. That's what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? But I think that it's just a matter of perception. Some people look at this team as, yo, they're not close to it. Others look at it as like, yo, you are actually very close, but you're about to make a terrible decision if you act out of this feeling.
Yeah, and we'll find out. I mean? We'll find out. You know, we're gonna have another season with Tomlin. We'll see what changes are made with new players come in here. What we do with quarterback. So like that's all there too.
No, respect on that, man. Respect.
Last one from yesterday, and we're at 441.
I'm about to say, read this last one off, and then man,
we got picks.
Yeah, dang, you're right. All right, we got rapid fire. Let's go.
That's good. Maximus says, to be fair, Tomlin had to play against Brady and Bill
multiple times.
He only did once, though, in the playoffs. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was only one time. Really? Yeah, people. I mean, we've had our bad moments against the Patriots in the regular season. I'll give them that. But we really only played the Patriots twice in the playoffs in the whole Big Ben era. It was Ben's rookie year and then that 2016 AFC Championship.
Yeah. And we know how different it is if you win another Super Bowl. So, clearly it does matter.
We should have had the Packers one. I mean,
right, but you know how that
was the one right in
we
front.
know for certain it changes so much if
Tomlin
you win one more.
Rings.
Yeah, one more changes everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You ran into Rodgers, but that Brady one.
We still should have won that. I'm sorry, we still should have won that. That's fair. Man, that's tough. All right, we'll get into these picks.
All right, man, let's get these picks, bro, because we have been
only
in
a few games. We should be quick with this.
Oh, yeah, heck yeah. But we've been in here longer than we're supposed to anyways, man. Come on, bro. Hey, man. All right, let's get these division round picks real quick. All right, let's get it. Y'all hit that like button, too.
I think I'm up 6.
Oh, no, you up. Yeah, for certain you up, man. So, like I said, if y'all digging the show, man, definitely hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Let me pull these up really quick.
Yeah, 4 games.
Yeah. All right.
Man. Wow, these spreads are interesting.
Get it. They're actually like crazy. I was looking at them earlier. I was like, wow. Why these spreads are like robust? All right. So yeah, last week.
And then even the Bills one's weird.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So last week, you went 2-1. I went 1-2. Bills minus 8.5. That hit.
I knew that was happening.
But then after
I just went 2-0.
Commanders plus 3. Yours hit. And then I had Bucks minus 3. And then you had Rams plus 2.5. I had Vikings minus 2.5. So obviously both of yours hit. We're currently sitting at 60. You're 67, 61, and 4 on the season. You have a 6-game lead on me. So it's about to get dicey with these last couple playoff games, man. But such is life. It's a fun time. So let's get it, man. Let's get it. How we feeling now, Deke? How we feeling, man?
Chiefs, Texans. Chiefs at home minus 8.5.
Oh, actually, let me put my notes.
Saturday 4:30 game.
You want to take the Chiefs.
Yeah,
you're going to force me to take the Texans out of the pick because I got to get the pick off. So I get it.
Okay.
But I'm not doing that for all. I'm picking Bills. I'm just telling it out there right now.
What?
Bills are coming with me. I'm telling you now, I'm picking the Bills, bro.
What if I pick the Bills?
No, you're not. You got to pick the Ravens. What
do you mean?
Yeah, you're picking the Ravens, bro. Yeah, we ain't doing that. You already know what this is.
I might pick
You
the
already
Bills.
know what this is. No, you already know what this is. Don't even play
think the
that.
Bills are going to win.
No, I don't care about none of that, bro.
I think the Bills are going to win.
I don't care about none of that, bro.
Josh Allen. MVP.
I don't want to hit none of that, bro. So, yeah. I'll pick against all this other stuff right here, but you know the one. That's the one. All right. All these other
what?
ones.
I mean, yeah, let me think. Because you need.
That's what I'm saying. I need the games.
Up 6
I need
games.
Yeah, I
These
need
are 4 games, and there's only going to be 2 games in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I'm like, I need the games. But I'm like, that's my one that I'm like, yo, that's me. You can have the other ones. I'm going to have to pick opposite of you.
What do you mean?
No,
I'm picking the Bills.
No, Bill. We right there with it. We know what that is.
You guys hearing this? I'm trying to make my pick here. Moats has forced me to change
got the
pick.
Ravens. Deke has the Ravens, regardless of what Deke said. Deke has the Ravens, man. Any of the other three, pick who you want. I'm gonna go out for you, man. I'm out for you. Whatever three you like, got them. All right. I'm Bills. Ain't no it's
wow. Okay, I get you know what?
Any other thing you got? Any other thing you got?
I get it. It's the principle. I get it. It's the principle. Can we just make that an even game then? Ravens -1.5. Come on.
I don't like that. No. Derrick Henry, bro.
I want to pick the Bills in this game.
Nah, man, chill out, bro. Come on, you got three other ones, man.
Let's just make that even.
You got three other ones, man. Fine. You get dibs on all three. I know you're gonna pick Chiefs. I know you're gonna pick Lions. I know you're gonna pick Rams. I know you're gonna do this. You want favorites. You know how you do, bro.
The Rams aren't favorites.
Oh, you're right. Good call. Eagles are heavy favorites in that too. Yeah.
I definitely got Lions. You're right.
Yeah, I never said you had Lions.
Chiefs, Lions. I like that. -8.5, both of them. Lions, they're just on one, man. No matter who's injured on defense,
they keep showing up, man.
They're at home.
You dead on right,
bro. Like
you dead on right.
Yeah, I'm going with the Lions. I do like Jaden Daniels, though. I do legitimately think he's in the top 10, but
that's the only reason why I don't feel absolutely disgusted about that pick.
Yeah,
because I'm like, at least points wise,
he's ice cold, man.
And I'm getting 8.5.
Right. Yeah,
so
I could see them.
You know
I could see it being like a 7-point game.
I look at that and I look at CJ Stroud the same way. I'm like, CJ, I'm praying that y'all are hotter and at least in rhythm, so it prolongs the whooping. But we know what this is. But I'm just like, prolong it. Just make it odd enough where maybe it's a field goal at the end of it, and you know what I mean. I just don't have to look as tragic.
Man, Eagles Rams. The Eagles -6 at home. Hurts looked a little shaky. Rams are hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
+6. I've been rolling with the Rams all year.
You have been. I've been rolling with Eagles.
The Eagles
so
only hope. The Eagles only hope is to start KP. So I might have to go Rams.
All right.
Damn, so let me think about this one more time.
All right. Come on. You got it.
At home though, man. At home.
Yeah. That's West Coast to East Coast too, right?
Knock some of the rust off.
But granted, wait a minute, because Rams had the wacky schedule last week too with the Fires, because they played in Arizona. So
yeah,
they ain't tripping. They said time and location don't matter.
Who's the better quarterback? I'll go Stafford. It is Stafford.
So you got Rams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, my whole better quarterback thing though doesn't really work out for the Lions Commanders.
It doesn't.
I'd take Daniels over Goff. Although Goff's playing like that, they're playing on the same level right now.
Playing on the same level, yes.
Lions better team though for sure.
I was going to say, can Goff do what Daniels is doing in Washington? I know Daniels can do what Goff is doing. Yeah.
No. Although I don't.
But the decision making does matter.
I was going to say,
I can't minimize it. The decision making does matter.
It's tough for me to see another quarterback running that system like that.
I was going to say, I can't minimize
it's a very like old school approach.
It is.
Whereas Daniels is more, the Kingsbury, the college style.
More aggressive. Like, let me make a play. This is like play within the system.
In the pocket, yeah.
Play within the system. Yeah.
Those are my picks. Did I officially pick the Rams? Yeah. Let me just stop beating around the bush.
All right. So you got Rams, you got Chiefs, you got Lions, and you got Ravens. I have Bills, I have Commanders, I have Texans, and I have Eagles.
I have Bills too, but
no, you
don't.
This
is another week where it seems like I got to take the opposition.
So we already have our picks officially done, Jaron. Now that the picks are officially over,
I think the Bills win that game.
Now that the picks are officially over, tell me why all of a sudden you have the Bills beating the Ravens of all teams. Let me hear this one, please, man.
I'm up 6 games. And you need to pick.
So this is strategy. This has zero to do with your actual belief, is what you're implying.
I do think they're going to win. I actually do think they're going to win.
How do you think they're going to win?
But there's been multiple games where I thought they were going to win, and I picked the opposite team based off principle. So I'm not going to switch up right now.
What have you seen going into this matchup that makes you think that they're about to beat Baltimore? The last time they played, we had the game on in here. Derrick Henry had 190,000 yards on the ground, man.
You just want me talking down the Bills right now.
I just want to hear.
You think since I'm talking them up, I'm jinxing them?
Because I know you don't feel like that, and that's why I'm just like, yo, tell me exactly why again? Because I know you don't believe this. You're just saying it because.
No, I do. I do think they're gonna win. I don't want them to win. I do think they're gonna win.
Oh my God, Deke, you do not want them to win, bro. Stop it.
I don't want them to win. You're right. I think they are gonna win.
Though you want the Ravens to win, don't you? See, man, oh my God.
I don't want anyone to win this game.
I can't believe you,
This is too evil.
Oh, I can't believe you,
This is too evil.
Oh, I can't believe you, bro. Oh my God, I can't believe
you.
It's too evil. Oh no,
I don't want either of these. I want the Steelers to be in this game.
Oh, Deke, I know you ain't just say you want the Ravens to win.
I never said that.
Oh man, you gotta chill, bro.
I just know I don't want the Bills to win. I just know that. I don't want the Ravens to win either, but it's just like.
Deke, you evil, man. You are evil. Deke said, I'd rather the Ravens win than the Bills.
I never said that.
Oh,
I never said that. I'm just watching as a fan of the game. I'm watching as a fan of the NFL. Whoever wins, but if something happens to the Bills in a negative fashion in the fourth quarter, I'm not going to be like,
that is crazy, Deke. That is crazy, bro. Oh.
I don't want either team to win. It's one of those tough spots. It'd be like the Bengals playing the Bills too. It's just, yeah.
Oh man,
two rivals, two evils.
I'm going to enjoy it either way because if Baltimore wins, I'm for certain looking for everybody. You was happy that the Ravens won, so you was a Ratbirds fan, huh? Oh, you rooting for the Ravens?
I wasn't. I was not rooting for them at all.
Let the Ravens win. I'm giving that energy to everybody. I'm telling y'all, I'm afraid.
It's just like this. It's like this
Ravens
Chiefs.
fans.
It's like this. It's like any of these games. It's like Steelers aren't in it, man. Like it is what it is. Steelers aren't in it. I don't do any of the second team stuff. It's just I don't mind when the Bills lose. I'll say that.
Respect. I can dig it, man. I can dig it.
It's almost like Pitt. Pitt. Yeah. I don't root for other teams, but it's like you see West Virginia lose on a Saturday.
Hey, it don't
like,
hurt.
All right, yeah.
Penn State losing the college. Hey, man, I ain't tripping on that, man. Hey,
so that's how it is with the Bills. That's how it is with the Ravens, Bengals,
Respect.
a bunch of these other AFC teams. But
it just seems like it's more directed that way. But
I don't know.
It just seems like they stand out a little bit more. Dude. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Right.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like the Bills have been on the naughty list.
And I don't
more
understand
prevalently than some other teams over the last 5 years.
I'm still trying to figure out how that even happened.
Ever since I started this podcast.
It's just weird. It got real weird.
Ever since that former Bills player came on the pod and was
that's
talking
really when
down
the
on
energy shifted. That's when the energy shifted. Yeah. We learned. It's like, all right, it's no longer the same show, man. Yeah. Deke does not like them. It's official now. But I like it, man. Alrighty. So, man, that will do today's show or conclude today's show. Excuse me on that one, man. But Deke, where you at this weekend, man? Where can they find you?
You know what? Tonight, actually,
talk
6
your talk,
o'clock,
man.
I'm going to be doing a Bleacher Report stream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be talking about my plan.
Let's get it,
man. Kind of how I highlighted a little bit. Maybe go a little bit more in depth, but talking DCs we need to hire. Got to get Terry Austin up out of here. What we got to do on offense. I talk more to the offense yesterday. So it's going to be more defense oriented.
Okay. So you said Bleacher Report tonight, though, right? 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. Stop through.
All right. Respect on that,
man. Same place
man.
where you guys have found me before.
Yeah, respect on that, man. Shoot. I don't have anything going on this weekend, man. Yeah.
We know you're doing something. Did you find that Bills podcast partner yet? You guys can react to this game.
Hey, look, man, I'll just be chilling the weekend, man.
I ain't got live stream Bills Ravens.
I ain't got that going on.
6:30 on Sunday. You gonna do it on this channel?
You are sick.
You got more subscribers on this channel.
You are sick, bro. You are. It might build up.
You might get more hate comments.
Hey, it build up the other one. You do the other channel. Just leave me alone, man. Just stall me out, man. All right. I might get some extra content over here. All right, but we don't know, man. We'll figure it out. But either way, y'all stay safe out there, man. Hopefully, y'all enjoy the show. And if you did, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. But either way, we appreciate you. And until next time, baby.
Peace.